We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post.
Just fix it in post.
I don't know. It was the music. I was so excited to hit you with it, and then
I love that. Honestly, Jake, the intention and the feeling behind it, loved it all.
Yep.
You just started. For me, my experience was I heard the beginning of a yell, it blacked out, then I heard music, and then I couldn't hear you. And honestly, that's like most nights we're together. You know, we black out, and then we come back, have a great time. Yep. And then we're back into it. But we're grooving now, baby. We're grooving now.
We're grooving. The background looks great. That's looking good.
I got. Now you pointed out this is now I believe your old high school helmet. So this is the old when you died on your shield on the field of battle. This is what you were wearing here, and it's all the stickers from all the different teams in the All-Star game. So that's why it's all the different stickers there.
A sticker for each concussion. It was great. It was really good. It was good. Good family fun. Good. Now, I mean, so we did the first one, just for kind of freeball, didn't know what we were doing. I did the intro, but going yard, do we like it? Do we hate it?
I love it. I love it. I love it because, I mean, obviously it's a play on our last name, Yardley, right? It's sports oriented, right? Going yard is a homer, obviously, in baseball, but also going yard is like Devontae Smith dagger, you know? That was going yard, you know?
He was going yard.
It was a home run ball. So
Saquon, and you know what's funny? I mentioned it to Lisa, and she was like going hard, but it's yard because of your name.
Let's pretend like we meant it. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
triple entendre.
I had a couple other ideas I was kind of running through, but you know, this was the one I just kind of ended up going through. I was, you know, the other one I had the extra yard.
That's pretty good. I like that. The extra yard, because yard is strong. Yard is strong. Hard D, right? And then it's also our last name. The longest yard.
Right. That's a good one. That could be
play
good.
Off the movie.
The other thing I had, what about Hardly Yardley? I don't know.
How do you forget it? Because I feel like, have you heard Hardly Yardley? Oh, it's this great new podcast. Have you heard Hardly Yardley?
Hardly.
You know, like, can you hear people talking about it, kind of?
HY? You talking about HY right now?
The HY pod. New HY pod is up. Yep. Have you heard Going Yard?
The other one, and then the last one I had was the Jake Yardley podcast. Was the other one I was considering.
Okay. Now,
so, those were I was just spitballing.
right.
I went with, and
I do. Full disclosure for our one audience member that's listening, for our one audience member, this is Jake's initiative. Jake was the initiator. Jake did initiate this project, and I would say you've wanted a podcast for maybe 2 decades now. Is that right?
Decade and a half. We'll split the decade and a half.
Decade and a half. You're right. That's probably closer, because it was like
no. It was. You know what it was? It was 2015. It was a clean decade.
Right.
It was a clean decade.
Right. Okay. It's 1 decade. Yeah. I overshot it. Yeah.
I wanted, you know.
What about Jalix? Like Jalix, like we just really dive into our childhood trauma of being twins. Is that wild?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like identities kind of smeared together. We don't know whose pot it is, kind of thing.
Is that healthy for you or I? Do we think?
No, we don't think. We don't think. Okay. No.
Okay. We'll just turn the ship a bit the other way.
All right.
A bit the other way, but I mean, very happy with some of the things we came up with. If people do come out, if Mark, who are we calling our audience member? Who's our one audience member right now? What do we call
I think it could. I think it could oscillate. Yeah, Mark. What do you think is funnier? One audience member every single time, or a singular audience member but a new one that rotates each time? So it's like as if we had a club and it only had one seat in it, and we were doing stand up for it, kind of. You know what I mean?
So perfect. So for today, and we could change who that person is depending on the show, because then it's kind of like for this one we'll do Mark just as a random thing, but
Yeah.
Mark, love your opinion on the
Please, Mark.
whole list of titles, and let's make the show together and figure it out.
We want it to be a collaboration with Jake and I, but also a collaboration with you, Mark, right?
Yeah.
You're there, you're listening, maybe you're watching, maybe you're sitting in front of a computer watching all of the clips, or maybe you're on a run yourself, maybe you're on a bus, maybe you're in your car, maybe you're cooking, are you doing laundry? What are you doing that you would like to listen to and you go, you know what? They did go hard like the Yardleys.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe going yard feels right to me, Mark. Maybe that's you.
Or it feels like there's a driver here, and Jake Yardley podcast. I don't know. I don't know what Mark's thinking.
Right.
I don't know what Mark's thinking.
Let's see what Mark says. Mark, you probably don't love it. From just what I'm getting from Mark, it feels like he doesn't love it right away, but that's in Mark's hands, right? That's not in our hands.
On the back burner, but we'll keep it on the table.
Right.
Put it on the back burner.
It's still on the stove. It's still on the stove.
Yeah.
It's on the stove.
Not a priority.
No.
Not a priority.
We got a skillet. We got to get cooking, right?
Yeah.
I think it kind of transitions.
It's simmering.
Yeah. We got to, and now we're putting our heat up on the front burners here. Now we're turning up the heat here.
And we're a gas grill, I would say. Actually, are we electric or we gas? Because this is going to get political. Now are we clean energy or are we fossil fuels? Do you think? Off the jump.
I'll tell you what. Right off the jump for me, I was thinking convenience, right? Because I'm a fat, lazy American, and I'm thinking, what fires up quicker? That's electric, Gas is tick, 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 tick. Nobody wants that.
Starter. Ugh. I don't have a starter. Do I need a lighter to get this thing going? It's not. It's an old starter.
Right.
I don't know. Okay, good. Love it. This will be good for engagement. Mark. He doesn't even know. He's I didn't know this was a political podcast. Maybe this is a Yardley politics thing. I don't know.
We're
great.
Yeah. I was going to say, we make you feel uncomfortable at the top, and then we just soothe you right into a nice, comfy little zone right after that, So we started political, and now we're just going to get a little cozy with a little bit of highlights, a little bit of football, a little bit of fantasy talk.
Alex, we certainly are. I did want to mention last week, you did an incredible job vamping.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this.
Thanks.
I got a call. I had to leave. I thought the video was playing. It wasn't. And you were vamping on absolutely nothing. And just coming to my head, incredible vamping, toying with the name of the show called just Mostly Vamping would be
I love it.
A great show.
Mostly Vamping. Yeah.
Mostly Vamping is the whole name of the show.
Most vamp? The kids that really listen to it or just whatever your age is. The real hardo listeners go, "Oh, you listen to Vamps? You listen to Vamps?" Right?
We're listening to Vamps right now. And if you're listening, and Mark is probably like, "Oh, are they going to start the show?" No, this is the show.
We're doing it.
We're doing the show.
And Mark, that's why we need your engagement. We need your engagement. This is maybe a call to action to you, because Jake and I, we're doing it, baby. What have you done so far? Have you commented? Have you liked? Have you subscribed? Have you done any of it? Right? Yeah. And we're not asking you to do it, but do you want a better show? Built around your needs, wants, and urges and your own sensitivities? Mark, that's up to you,
And you know what? Let's give it up. Let's give it up for Mark. You know what I mean? Really got to lean into. I got a couple more. I'm got stocked and loaded, ready to roll for those.
Jake, is all that power, is it going to go to your head? Do you think it's going to go to your head, all that power? Or do you think?
I mean, if people are reacting, if people like it, if people are, if people are, if they're going to be, standing ovation, sit down, then maybe, I don't know.
In the back, sit down. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I just worry, it's like with great power comes great responsibility. You know who said that, Jake? Tobey Maguire. Greatest kiss.
That is.
TV's greatest
Superman, but MTV's greatest kiss. That is right.
So never forget.
Alex, how's the rest of your week been? Anything crazy?
Pretty stellar, man, dude. The pounds you're flying off. I don't know. You can see I got a little bit of
Good.
sun. I went for a run and I popped
You
the
wearing
top.
sunscreen? Are
I
you
wear it
wearing
a lot. Wore a
sunscreen?
lot. Yep, wore a lot. Thank you so much for the concern. I appreciate that. That you're carrying, brother. Yes, wore sunscreen. I got special block for the face, and then sun bum. You love a sun bum. 70. It smells like bananas. It's got the monkey on it. Shameless plug to Sunbum, the sunscreen. But yeah, I popped my
Mm-hmm.
top for this run, and I went, I'd say about 6 miles or so. And
Wow.
the LBs are just flying off, man. Not necessarily the running, the working out's helping, but the diet's been the biggest thing. I am
And you're still
down
doing
the Heat
and you're
Fitness.
still doing your hot workouts,
I sure
right?
am. Yep, yep. For
Wow.
this one's from Mark. It is like a sauna. It's like a hot yoga studio, but you just work out in it. I'm doing power lifts and stuff like that. There's a guy named Blair that runs a gym. This guy is a Greek god. He's built
Guy
like a
named Blair?
he's a guy named Blair. That's right. And
Guy
it,
named Blair.
and he's built like a brick shithouse. And
Uh,
he is. I feel like he's like the top dog in what's the Iditarod? All the dogs
they
that
did run.
mush. Yeah, yeah.
The dog racing.
Dog racing, sure. Maybe we'll call it that, or the mushing.
Well, it's in like the Arctic, and it's like sled and dogs, not
Exactly.
like a greyhound or something.
Right,
It's like a
exactly. Yeah, and so these are
right.
like big, muscular dogs. The way he
Mm-hmm.
runs his workout, it's like just constant pressure. It's like he keeps you on task. It's like four, three,
So
two,
he's the
one.
musher.
He's
He's the
mushing.
musher, and you
Yep.
guys are the dogs, and you're
I'm just
going to
saying.
the.
I'm a pack animal.
Ironically,
I'm a pack animal.
you
I've
are a
learned.
pack animal. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is true. You are a pack animal, and it is ironic though because that's like an Arctic thing, and you're doing a hot climate
Hmm.
thing. You know,
Yeah.
so
Well, hot and cold
it's a
there. I did.
fun.
Yeah, mixed
Yeah,
metaphors there, kind of. But anyway,
little
great workout.
Katy Perry,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she kissed a girl. She
hot and
liked it.
cold. And certainly did. She certainly did.
So yeah, doing good. That's been great. How
Love
are
it.
you doing, brother?
So that's
How's
good.
your week been? What are you getting into?
Good week. Yeah, really got into it. I've also been running. Dinosaur Park by me is
Is that what
it's
it's
that
called?
tiny what?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's the dinosaur thing for the playground, but they also have pull up bars and like outdoor work.
Are
So
you
what I
doing
started doing,
prison workouts at a playground gym?
I am doing yeah.
My God,
Kind of, kind of, yeah, I am. I'm doing pull-ups.
I
I'm
love it.
doing
I love
dips.
it.
I'm
Oh,
doing,
and you go, hey, Johnny, pass the juice box. You got a big wrap in.
you can make, or
It's a superset.
you just, you do prison workouts at kids playground. Yeah, I am, Alex. I popped the top. No, I don't. I don't. God damn it. Well, I was feeling good about it before this,
No, no,
but
you should feel good. You should feel good. That's awesome. You're doing that.
yeah,
Uh,
no, it's
but
great.
but there's a
It's
little bit
great.
of comedy to it.
I'm also going through, the Pan Pacific Park or whatever. I'm
Yeah,
running through
yeah,
there,
yeah.
getting some
That's a good one.
distance in.
Yeah, that's a big park
I'm
too.
doing.
Yeah.
It's a good park. I'm doing the iron gym thing for push-ups, and I got your weights you left. I'm doing the dumbbells. A lot of stuff. I don't. I stopped going to my gym. I was getting like annoyed. They kept ramping up the prices. I'm gonna move soon anyway, and I'm just kind of like
Yeah.
I. Most of the things I do there, I could just do, around anyway.
Right.
So I'm looking to build up my home gym as well because I got the kettlebell, I got the weights. So anyway, that's been
Adjustable.
good.
Adjustable kettlebell, right? Adjustable. So you're doing like
Yeah, that one's
it's not like a solid kettlebell, right?
yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, so that's been great. And then, well, obviously we should really address the elephant room.
Yeah.
Before I do, I'll mention Casey and I went hit the range, which was fun. And then yeah, we went golfing last weekend, and then he and we did slow-mo videos of one another. So that way we could really check out the form as we're
Hmm.
going through, and I can see exactly why my ball is slicing every time, which was great.
I both love that for your development and hate that as someone that struggles with
A
golf.
competitor?
Yeah, as a competitor.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah,
Just as someone that's like, all my friends are golfing now. It's like, I don't know if Mark feels this way, but it's like you get to an age
yeah.
and all your friends start golfing and you're like, well, I guess I got to golf now. It's like,
Yep, yep.
I
Well,
just,
you could get into the frisbee thing with Tyler and Jordan and those guys, and you could really start getting into
yeah,
frisbee golf. Although I guess that's still golf, so I guess it's not like any
yeah.
better as far as activity wise. But
Adult walks, they're basically, it's all just adult walks, right? Adult
yeah,
is like
pretty
the
much.
kind
But
of the gist of it. Yeah.
yeah,
That's now.
social walk.
Did you feel like you made some headway with the videos there? I didn't mean to disparage it too
Oh
much
yeah.
there. Yeah.
So last week when we went, I felt great about my irons and wedges, and then I
Yeah.
got into the driving. Just I was really lacking when we went and hit the 18. So at the range, we really were just going after the driver for most of it. It
Yeah.
was great. It was fun. We did some putting after as well. So we really hit the whole thing.
So
But
you did
anyway,
hit the DMV. You hit the DMV. Learned how to drive and everything.
there you go. Last
Look,
week, what did you say? You said you didn't have your license or
I didn't have
something?
my license. I can't drive. I can't
That's
drive.
right.
And then the
That's
other
right.
one I was gonna say is like your style of golf, your archetype is like a steakhouse, right? Because you got your flat irons and your wedges, your wedge salad. You got a wedge
Okay.
salad. You got your irons, your flat iron steak,
Wedge salad. I got the wedge. Yeah,
and a
exactly.
flat
I
iron
got the
steak.
iceberg lettuce is my my
Yeah,
favorite go to
that's right. Yeah, because you get that
when
the
I'm.
best loft on that. It looks the prettiest shot on that, right?
It's really great. It's funny. I think I do an iron swing for my driver, which is my problem. So that's
Hmm.
kind of it's a slightly different swing, and so that's what I was finding out. Anyway, we
Yeah,
did that, and then we went right into the
this is it.
draft order with Casey, and maybe for Mark too. And actually, just for me, I'm curious how many fantasy football leagues are you in this year? How
Me?
many?
Me, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
what are
Mark,
you
you should
rocking?
definitely, Mark, please put this in the chat so we know how much fantasy content to do, right? So, listener, our
Mm-hmm.
one sole listener, when you're subscribing, when you're liking it, put in there how many fantasy drafts you're doing this year. For me, Jake, I'm in three. I got three. That's my sweet spot. And for
Mm-hmm.
Mark, so you know, like the quality of all of those, like first one, Family League, fun. Uncles are in it. Uncles don't know anybody other than Eagles players. They don't care. They don't know. They're taking
Yeah.
defenses too early. They're taking kickers too early. They're taking three quarterbacks, right? They don't know what's going on. So that one's fun. Then there's the one with our Lambertville folks, and that's been the oldest league. Our group of friends that we grew up with. That has
Oh
been
seven was oh seven the
it was
first
just
year?
it was
Oh
just gonna.
six.
Was it really that long ago? Wow.
Well, do you remember you had the Tom Brady 50 touchdown
I did. I traded you for
Randy Moss?
Mark Bolger, and there was some other
We don't
stuff.
have to every time we
I
have to
did
bring up Tom.
well.
It's
You
like
bring it up. I got
Alex.
I
There was
did it.
other compensation. There
They
was other
should know. They should
compensation.
know. I offed Mark Bolger for Tom Brady the year he had Randy Moss. Am I good at fantasy?
Okay.
I'm kind of a prodigy. Yeah,
Yeah. So oh seven. Yeah.
yeah.
So it was oh
So that's
seven,
an
but
older league.
that was it. Was that the first? That was the first or second year. So
Honestly, I
anyway, in
think
that neighborhood.
we did it for funsies maybe a year before. We didn't know what we were doing in the
We're
scoring
closing in on
discourse.
20 years. We're closing in on 20 years for
Yeah,
that
so
league.
that's that league, and that one I care deeply about, probably the most. And then the new league now that you're talking about. So Casey, this is where the thread comes in, where Casey, who you went golfing
Great.
with, he reached out to folks, you there in LA, friends in LA, friends from where he grew up. Obviously, me, I'm the East Coast guy. I think I'm the
There's a
only East
couple
Coast.
East
Oh,
Coasters.
good. Okay,
There's
good.
Nick's brother is in it. He's East Coast. He's back in
Maryland?
Maryland.
Right,
I
right.
believe Casey's partner Chloe, her brother is an East Coaster, and he's in it.
Okay, great. Okay.
So yeah, yeah.
But that's
And
new. Yeah.
it's spread up.
Yeah, so that's new that just created this year. That's the third league that I'm
Mm-hmm.
in. And I found three leagues is a sweet spot. Two that like money's on the line with this new league, and then obviously the almost 20-year-old league. It's money. And then the other one is just family bragging rights. We do have trophies, and I've gotten a trophy every year. This year, I have the potty trophy for coming in last. The year
If
before
you're not
that,
first, you're last. You're really
yep,
Ricky Bobbying that league.
yeah,
I have just been, you know what? I don't know why I ever care about floor in that league.
right.
Maybe that speaks to me just in my I should just go boom bust versus like these
Boom
guys. I'm like,
bust.
oh, he's a reliable guy that's going to get me 12 to 15. It's like, just go for somebody that
Yeah,
is either going to get you 20 or they're going to be
tear
done and out of rotation
an
mid
ACL.
season.
Right.
You know,
Get Christian McCaffrey. Have fun. Let yourself
yeah,
have fun. Let yourself
he's really
maybe
climbing.
be there in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe have the
yeah.
guy that carries a team.
Well, if we get some good response from Mark too, because
Hmm.
it's fun. I'm in the exact same three leagues with you,
That's right.
and I have one more league,
That's
the
right. You should
fourth
talk about
league.
it. It's fun. There's some heat
May,
on that league, right?
I was just gonna say maybe you and I can kind of talk through that league on the pod, and
Right.
maybe that becomes
And now,
or joining
listener,
forces.
I just want Mark to know here. Do you feel what Jake's doing to me right now? Do you feel this? So he wants us to join forces. He wants us to talk for his one league where there's no conflict of interest. Three other leagues were in conflict of interest. So there is going to be some politicking, I think, between you and I through this podcast, where we
Mm-hmm.
want to show our full hands here. I think, right? That's what we want to do. Will we?
Mm-hmm.
Will you? Or are you gonna try? You gonna try to take my little goodies, huh? You gonna try to take my goodies? You gonna try to take my
See
goodies here?
now, this is slightly almost insulting to me because
Okay.
you're almost implying as if you have more goodies than me. It's almost as if you're saying to me, I have more to lose. Is what it sounds like. Is what it sounds like to me
Well,
as you're saying this.
I don't want to bring up previous standings or who was in the championship last year. I don't want to bring that stuff up. I don't want to bring it up, Jake. But sometimes you're in the middle of a ring. Sometimes you're in the middle of a ring and you beat your opponent, right? Sometimes you're in the middle of a ring wrestling your opponent and you beat them up, right? So I don't know. Maybe we could talk about draft order or something. What?
I don't know if I'm following the analogy, Alex. I don't know if I'm following the analogy. Why don't you tell it to me like I'm stupid?
So I'm alluding to something that do you want to bring up because we were fun we're vamping we're vamping a lot and I love it. Do you want to bring up because it is fun? I think it's a fun way to do the draft order and what Casey decided, what you attended, and kind of what how we decided the draft order this year in this new league because it was really fun. I was not ready for it. I had a blast. Yeah.
Casey is a massive WWE fan, and so we could have just done random order, just like a random number generator, ChatGPT, whatever, and just say, here's 12 people, assign them 1 through 12, get the draft order. But instead, what we did, Casey had the PS5 WWE game from last year that he put together through ChatGPT, assigned wrestlers for each of us to have for a Royal Rumble, which he then simulated and streamed for the entire group.
That's right.
So we could then watch this Royal Rumble via video game
It was awesome.
and
Twitch
root
stream.
for
Yeah.
Twitch stream. Because of the way and the format of it, there was 30 wrestlers. We each got two wrestlers, and there was some other computers mixed in. If you had both of your guys eliminated, you then would be that next draft pick, starting at 12, working your way up to 1. So the last person left in the ring would be the first overall draft pick. So really fun. It was like, I don't know,
Awesome.
40 minutes or something of just this ridiculous wrestling match. We had one guy got assigned The Rock. He dressed up as The Rock. Jared, shout out to him. Really
Yeah.
fun. And we watched it like an actual live event. So it was really fun. But yeah, I think what Alex is alluding to is the fact that we had both our wrestlers in the ring for the second and third. We didn't realize it. We thought it was for the winning
Yeah.
initially. we thought it was for number 1 overall.
You
It
had
was just the 2 of us left.
Yokuna. What was he looked like a big sumo wrestler guy.
Yeah, he was like a legend, and I feel bad, but he was before my time, so I don't really remember him. It was my first time learning about him, but I guess he was a champion at one point. But he was like 80s or 90s, I think maybe 90s. But
yeah,
he was like a sumo wrestler guy, Yoko Suno or something like that. And you had, what was it, Bret the Hitman Hardy? Or
that Bret Hart. Bret Hart, I learned him.
Hart.
Yeah, I looked him up. It might be my fantasy team name now. It might be the Hitman.
Yeah.
I was gonna do the longest Yardley for my fantasy team name.
But Alex, I had a gripe with that. That was my team name in the family league.
It was?
Yeah.
I did it in last year's the other family league I was in. So in another league, I was it as well. But I knew I had to get it before you because we're the only Yardleys in the league. I knew I had to get it before you.
I had it in the family league with Jordan and everybody.
I already had that the little icon saved from my other fantasy team from last year. So I just copy paste. It was already in on my computer. But I mean, it doesn't matter anyway. If you want it back, I want to be the Hitman now because that wrestling thing was so exhilarating. I was yelling at my phone. I had the Twitch stream pulled up on my phone. I obviously have FaceTime you afterwards, and it was just so funny when I realized it's your wrestler and my wrestler, and we're duking it out. And it was we thought it was for the number 1 pick. Yeah.
So from my perspective, Casey had the game playing on his like big living room television, and then when he hit stream, you can see the comments in the bottom corner. And so you can just see it's like my guy, I'm freaking out at the TV, and Casey and Jared are both just kind of laughing as I'm like freaking out. And then on the bottom of the screen, you just see Alex Yardley going, "Come on, Hitman!" And I was like, "No, fuck!" And they're like, "It's Alex, it's Alex!" And like they are just pushing me, and like we're just doing like a, "Come on, that son of a bitch!" So we were freaking out, the 3 of us.
Dude, it was an epic fight too. Like your guy would put me on the side of the rope, and you just have to push him off the ring. It's like King of the Hill, basically. And like my guy was on the edge, then your guy is on the edge. Your guy weighs a million pounds because he's a sumo wrestler. So I'm like, there's no way my guy wins. I just didn't think you could pick him up to throw him over the ring, even if he had low health or whatever. But it was exhilarating and a fun way to figure out the draft order there.
It was so very fun. Yeah, it was weird at the end. They had that glitch. I think you got very lucky too because you would have had one more. We both would have had one more guy enter.
Yeah,
and
but
if he entered,
right,
it would have been a 3-person thing instead of just a 1v1.
And lower health. I would have had lower health than
and stamina, exactly.
Right.
So that was the other thing because the glitch happened. It was your guy left, and then he restarted with a 1v1 match, and your guy was fresh, like you're saying.
And dude, my guy, he like came right out of the jump, just started beating the crap out of him, like from the very jump. He got the other guy's health bar down, like it seemed like halfway, and he didn't even get touched. Then the guy came back a little bit, and then he did. I think it was called a shooter or a sharpshooter, and it took the guy's health down all the way. And I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm learning wrestling.
That was his finisher.
Oh, okay.
That's what Casey was telling me. Yeah, your guy was I think he was like a 91 overall, and that other guy was like an 86.
I figured because that guy looked like I was like, if I lose to this millionaire guy, he had like a cheap jacket on with a dollar bill sign on the back, and I was like, if I lose to this guy, like The Rock, I get it, that's fine. If I lose to Hulk Hogan, that's fine. I lose to the millionaire, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not even inflation adjusted, It should be the billionaire now, right?
No, he's like I think 80s or 90s guy.
Yeah.
But it is funny. It was very random because whoever came out last had such an advantage.
Right. That was the random number generator thing part of it,
It's basically a random number generator that you get to watch.
Yeah.
But very fun. Anyway, so because of the golf, I kind of missed the Eagles preseason. So, I mean, we're sickos, and we're actually watching and tracking this. So we'll have to see if Mark gives a shit. But I think if nothing else, it's really good for us to kind of get in a rhythm for when the season comes and we can kind of get our cadence down of how we want to dissect and what we want to kind of look at and go
No,
into.
I apologize. I didn't throw this in the notes. I didn't throw this in our show notes, but I took pre-notes for watching this game. So I watched this game. I watched it, and I have notes. Now, like last time I did my notes before, things to look out for. Do you want to do that again, or do you want me to just kind of, as it comes up, talk about it?
Hit me with your, like, bird's eye view, 10,000 foot view, kind of like that perspective. And then when we get into the weeds, you can kind of go into more of your like detailed kind of takes as we see them. We can pause and kind of talk.
Big thing's going to pop off. This is number one right off the jump here for 10,000 feet up in the air here. Makuba could be starter safety.
Yep.
Nose for the ball. Feels like Gardner Johnson, where you're like, he's not the best football player, but he finds a ball. And you're going to see it here. He had a pick six. He had a fumble recovery. And that was his first game in an Eagles uniform. So even if he did nothing else.
The first one?
No, he was hurt. He's missed a little bit of training camp. And so this is his first time suiting up. He's also wearing number 24. When I played, I was 24. I had a pick six. It was the highlight of my football career. Obviously, it ended in high school, not that good, but it looked awesome to see 24 in an Eagles uniform get a pick six. That's the number one. Number two, speaking of secondary, Jacorian Bennett wearing number 49. Ooh, that was the first thing. Yeah. He had a couple good breakups. The guy's fast. You're going to see it. They probably talk about it. He'll trail you. He'll kind of stay on your back hip. When the balls come, acceleration, pop, pop, pop. Hit out your hands kind of thing. But we saw in this game all of it. We saw that all looks good. Kind of got hurt, missed a couple plays. So is he going to stay healthy? Is he going to get a new number? God knows he needs it. All stuff to look out for. A.J. Dillon, this is another one. Like to see him get some gritty yards, just some 2 to 4 yard, just disgusting yards, just a couple 24 powers, like a elementary school play. Just like I'd like to see some pulling guards and just like Derrick Henry make a one cut with those big old A.J. Dillon legs and just do that. So that looked good. Not really explosive beyond that, but between the tackles, that guy looks durable. I hate our third string quarterback. Oh, go ahead.
One note, A.J. Dillon he looked like a rookie catching that ball for negative 12 yards. That was insane.
Oh, I might have missed that one.
We'll see it.
Bring it up. Yeah, make a note of it. I missed that part.
Yeah, you'll see. You'll know. You'll be like, what is this guy doing?
Yikes. Anyway. Also, well, that actually works perfectly with what I was going to say is, I don't like our options at QB3. Tanner McKee did not play in this game, and so the offense looked significantly worse with DTR and McCord. I didn't like what I saw. DTR looks meh. Step up in the pocket with exclamation points was one of my notes for DTR. McCord looks slow and jumpy in the pocket, so that's a horrible combination right there. He's slow. He's slow, but he wants to get out and use that slowness to get away from NFL linemen, defensive linemen that are incredible athletes. So that looked bad. Good note, Anais Smith hits those slant routes. He's looking good. Another touchdown looks identical. Yeah.
One of my notes now is Johnny Wilson's a little bit more in the rear view to me. He's more of like what we talked about with Ringo and Sidney Brown last week of like theoretically awesome person and player, and I love the idea. But like in practice, like he had the good week last week, but I think Anais has been more reliably making plays, and I like Cooper a lot now. This guy looks like he's got some juice. He's a rookie.
Yep.
I kind of like him more, and the other thing, Cooper made some special teams plays as well. He made a tackle, which I really like, which is kind of what I want for Johnny Wilson. He's this big athlete. He'd be awesome on special teams if he gave a shit.
Can I be one of the Johnny Smith family members and defend him here for a second? Can I do that?
Wait, Johnny Wilson.
Johnny Wilson, thank you. I combined Anais Smith and thank you. Johnny Wilson. I'm going to be a family member of the Wilsons right now. He is 6'7". He's basically a tight end. I feel like most of his value is blocking. Remember Zach Pascal? Remember him? He was like our blocking wide receiver that came over from the Colts a couple of years ago. And they just would put him in and you knew it was a running play, basically. And if he did catch it, that was like the change up, basically. That's what I think Johnny Wilson is starting as. You know what I mean? So what I was mentioning earlier is like he's the blocking guy. So he looks better as a blocker. Anaya Smith looks better as like a slot wide receiver that you would want to get catches to. He's a punt returner, so I do feel like with Anaya Smith, you feel comfortable getting him a screen pass, getting him a bubble screen or a rocket screen, which is going the opposite way or coming towards the quarterback as a rocket screen, bubble screen going away from the quarterback. That kind of stuff you're not going to do to Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson, you're doing a go route and you're throwing it really high, and he's going to catch the ball at a high point is your hope. He's really high, he's going to catch it at a high point, right?
He can block for those things as well, which isn't really seen. But again, the theory of him helping out doing the dirty work would be awesome. I don't. It's tough to see as easily.
Yeah, I think that's. Can I get one last note? This is my last note here. Smile Munden again, the middle linebacker from Georgia. Dude,
yeah, he's on mine as well. I like him a lot.
He's got a cowboy collar. I love it. I love the cowboy collar, and he destroyed a screenplay by himself. There were a bunch of blockers. Yep. So there's like 3 or 4 blockers. He like eluded 2 of them, broke off another one, and tackled the running back by himself. That play by itself, I was like, there's potential there. That's a good flash of potential. I'm excited about him. That's my last note. That's my 10,000 feet in the air kind of look at it.
I was gonna mention him as well. It's crazy. We have like good linebackers finally. It's never happened in Eagles history in the last 20 years. But Bond is amazing. Campbell looked great. Campbell had a sack.
Yep.
Campbell looked really good.
And then now like a pressure too. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Dean and Trotter look really solid.
Did Dean play?
No, I'm just saying like the roster and like who we have.
Yeah.
You know, the state of the linebacking core is like Dean is a proven really good player as of last year. It was a really good breakout. And then Trotter feels like this preseason we're really handing a lot over to him. And then obviously Smile is great. You've got him, I kind of like him because I almost like Vaughn, Campbell, and Smile because of their height, weight. I just like that they can be bigger, and Trotter and Dean, at no fault of their own, are just smaller guys that they make up for it in different ways, but just having the high ceiling of the height weight of the other 3 is really awesome. So I'm happy we have a mix of those guys, though.
That's the perfect way to say it, a mix of them. I like that we have all of them. You know, it's like I like all of them. I like the variety of them. Dude, we'll look at it. Ojulari, speaking of linebackers, Ojulari had a couple plays, but if he doesn't pan out, maybe Jihad just goes to the edge and we get more playing time for those middle linebackers that you're talking about there. You know, maybe that's a variation or a formation we might see this year. But yeah, I think we could kind of jump into it now. I feel like
I feel good. I feel like and we'll probably see. I think Maku is one of these first plays here. The team overall, I like a lot. It seems like there's a lot of defensive players that are still fighting for positions. Is what it feels like.
This was a paper cuts drive here. This was a paper cuts drive.
There's Campbell.
Yep.
Campbell with a nice play. That was really awesome. So he comes right up the middle. He's like right here. And then it looks like he just times it perfect.
He can blitz. And he looks like an edge rusher in the middle there. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty great. It looks like they've got Young in there. What's his name from Nebraska, the D tackle?
Ty Robinson.
Thank you. Who is 6? Who's number 6? Do you know?
Was that a secondary member? Was that Adoree? Adoree Jackson is a
Adoree. Yep.
I think.
That's right.
Which, man, I was happy when we signed him, but he just looks kind of meh to me so far.
He's like a really nice like number 4 in my mind. Like a fourth corner at this stage in his career.
Didn't know this guy. We had second and third stringers playing a lot this game, and then even dipped into some fours. There were some players I did not recognize here in this game.
There's a Dory with a play. It's like Sidney Brown. I think Sidney had a couple plays, but they had Trotter and Campbell. It seemed like to start at
Oh,
linebacker.
this was
Dory
something
again.
I wanted to talk about from last time. So since last time, I hate this from Ojulari. Got to set the edge. They talked about it on the broadcast. Um, Ojulari is number 13. If we watch this, watch
Yeah,
13,
yeah,
not
yeah,
see it at all, you know?
yeah.
And it's
Good
like, dude,
tackle by Sidney Brown.
definitely. What I was going to say is what I think new information that came out was there was a press conference and Vic Fangio, he was calling zero blitzes last game against Jamar Chase and Burrow and putting the corners in the hardest possible positions. So zero coverage on Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So I think what I noticed here in this game too is there was a lot more blitzing. In the regular season, he does not blitz that much. Like he does not blitz
Right.
as much. There's a lot of simulated pressures, and maybe there's like some blitzes. But in the preseason, he's been blitzing a lot, and it'd be curious to see if that carries over, or if that's like how they're trying to scout these guys by getting them in bad situations. You
Yeah,
know?
I was just gonna say, I think if I was a coach and like I'm trying to make a decision, I want to see who can make a play at like those pivotal moments. Like
Hmm.
not when they have support, but
Hmm.
like when they're left on their own or they have to make a play or like they're in a tricky situation. Like
Hmm.
that's like if you can make those plays, then it's like, man, you can really be on the field then because you can really take some liberties in exactly what you're saying. So I think you're right. I would definitely put my money down that that's exactly his philosophy. Is like let's put these guys in tough situations and see who does well and who needs help. And also he knows how much help they all need during the season. So like he's just getting them ready to play. Like, okay, well, what do they need help with?
Hmm.
Like, do they need help on the go routes or the slants or like when they're singled up? Is it like and then he knows should I drop a linebacker or should I shade a corner or safety over top and kind of figure out the best way. So I think you're right. I think that's interesting. I didn't notice. I haven't watched the games. I've only seen the highlights and stuff. But that's a really good note to know that he's
Hmm.
just putting them in like tough situations.
I definitely old school Vic and sink or swim kind of mentality. It seems like throw them in the deep end, and yeah, I had an eye out for it this game after the Bengals preseason game. I was looking for it and did notice there was a lot more blitzing this game. So keep an eye out for it as we watch along here.
Perfect. But yeah, you're right. This is a long drive they should put together here.
Yeah, just paper cuts, and there was a couple third downs. I don't know if they showed it here, but like they just kept picking up 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Like they were getting them into good like long third downs, but they couldn't get off the field in that drive.
Right. And then it looks like starting QB is
A DTR, yep,
DTR, sorry.
yep. Dorian Tom,
Yep.
and it was like AJ Dillon out there. Was that
It was
Anias, dude?
Anias.
Dude, his slant routes are clean. They look good.
Yeah. He reminds me of like Devonta Smith. Oof. That looked like the left tackle. Oh, here it is.
So silly.
AJ Dillon.
See,
Caught it.
right. That was dumb. Yeah, but definitely reaction there. But the whole play is like just Pop
So
Warner.
preseason.
It looks, yeah, it looks exactly, yeah.
I think it's the left tackle here, which is that Toth?
He definitely gets beat. No, but look at him just fading in the like step up in the pocket, and then when the guy's on your ankle, dude, you can go down. It's okay. You don't have to make a hero throw. And
Yeah. He's
I
fighting
don't
for a
know.
roster spot though.
I guess, yeah. But let's watch it again
Let's
here.
see if here it is.
Okay. He doesn't feel him. He's shooting him up the field. Step up. Like he could step up and to your right there. I don't know what the design was, but it felt like there was room in the pocket. But obviously,
Crazy for AJ Dillon to catch that as other linemen are batting it down.
For sure. He's trying to make a play too, and yeah, nice
Is that
throw.
Perry Nicholson or is that other guy?
I think good for you. I wouldn't have known that. I think you were right.
I
Number
think it's,
35.
and I've got this locked and loaded here.
Great stuff.
Robinson, Texas. Oh wait, no, number 30. What number was he?
35?
It was Brandon Johnson,
Hmm.
Oregon rookie.
He's got the long hair, dreads there.
Yeah, but Perry Nickerson is 34 and also has the long hair.
Yeah, they look the same on the field in the
But that
uniform.
was Brandon Johnson out of Oregon.
I've never heard of these guys. Maybe these guys are good. Just
They're
because corner has been backup corner, obviously. Quinyon Mitchell's amazing. Cooper DeJean's amazing. We just need that outside corner.
there he is again. He reminds me of like it looks like he's playing the nickel. It looks like a Avante Maddox
Sure, with the long
uh,
hair. There's Makuba.
placement. Yeah,
Always root for a 24.
44. It looked like who's zero this year? Do you know who zero is?
Is it Ojina? Oh, not Ojulari. Is it Uche?
Uche.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Hopefully better than
Uche.
Bryce Huff last year was our number 0 edge rusher.
Yeah, here he is standing up. This is like the base 3-4.
This is it. Just joy. Just joy. Makuba is returning
Where
it
did he
to the
line
house.
up? He was like free safety there. Yeah, free safety came down, jumps that route, pushes him.
Oh, just great.
So like he pushes him there, and I don't even know if that's an overthrow of the one guy or an underthrow of the receiver.
It was like between both of them. The one guy in front like stopped trying to catch it, thinking his teammate would, and Makuba just like jumped right in front of the second guy. So in between them.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Pretty great.
Looked athletic though. Looked really athletic. He's lining up at free safety. It looks like, which is nice.
Him next to
So,
Reed
like,
Blankenship, that's pretty cool.
I feel like Reed plays that position though, which is interesting. So like
More of a box
Sidney
guy you
Brown
would
was a
want.
mixed tackle. Dude, Sidney Brown is
Look at
just
look at Keeley trying to chase him down.
yeah, and just dude, Keely's
I just rooted for him so much. He's so big, he's fast, he's part of the
he's
Georgia
still
guys.
23. He's still
Yeah.
like a rookie age. But yeah, he gets the pick play there.
Yeah. He got picked.
I mean, that's not. I mean, I don't make an excuse for him. He should probably fight harder to get over it, but that's a tough play.
Another blitz play there, and it looks like that's what got him beat because there's nobody at that second level. So I don't know if you saw Trotter blitz on that one.
Nice tackle.
Yeah, their quarterback outplayed our quarterbacks. I feel like this guy here. Oh, that was nice. Oh, Ojulari. Nice. Oh, good to see him having a plays. I want him to be
Yeah,
good.
top of the screen. Yeah, that's a nice play.
I would love for him to kind of win that third edge rusher spot, the rotational edge.
You like him over Uche, you think?
I want him to, again, because he's a Georgia guy and he's younger than Uche, so I would like him to be the better guy that maybe could be a part of the team for longer.
Right.
But for this year, maybe Uche's better. I don't know. They're kind of equal to me at the moment. Just pain.
Here is Makuba on the fumble recovery.
Just right place, right time. Just no hesitation. Just jumps right at the ball. So it's like first game, 2 turnovers from the kid. Love it.
Yeah.
Here's McCord's turn now.
Is this Powell?
Johnson something, I think. Johnson Jr.
Yeah. I think he's a rookie.
I don't know this. These
34?
running backs, yeah, we could look it up and see his background.
I think he was right next to Perry Nickerson or whatever, 34. It is Montrell Johnson Jr., Florida running back, rookie.
Okay. Did we look at him and say he looked good last week? Like he looked confident? Didn't we say that last week?
Remember now.
But that was at least a good run. This past run that we saw.
I think he has a couple more coming up here. I think this drive, if memory serves, they go
Does
to
he get a little
34.
saucy? Does he get a little saucy?
Yeah, I don't know why the share screen keeps kicking out.
It's all right. We're working out the bugs. Mark gets it. Mark gets it.
Yeah, he had another run there, but yeah, this guy looks solid. He's got a little bit of juice, Florida running back.
Good holes there, so maybe the line's looking good too. Cooper's out there. Love to see him get a tush push.
Cooper is like, I think the shining star of preseason so far.
Definitely the first game. Haven't seen him much yet here, but he's always motioning. It looks like he's been the motion guy. There he is.
Sorry about that. There we go. Is that
That's all right.
nice? I think
That's
it's a
nice on a
nice.
slant route. His slant routes look great. He's had like 3 or 4 slant routes successful this preseason, 2 for touchdowns. He looks like he's stemming the routes really well. So he's
Yep.
off the break, making the defender commit late so that he does have inside leverage early on his slant route. That's sort of the deep minutia of route running there. And there's Johnson. Didn't have a lot of room there though, unfortunately.
That's not on him. That's not on him on that one.
No. No.
So they had the drive. Anias. So I think Anias definitely has a pretty solid game. You're right. It is slant routes almost entirely, isn't it? I mean,
Maybe that sets him
I'd
up
have
from
to
some
imagine.
sluggo stuff,
I was gonna say I have to imagine he's got some good zig or like return routes that where he kind of like pivots one way, goes the other. Like because he's good at the slant, I feel like he'd be good at that as well.
Sure.
Kind of the counter to it, but oh boy,
Rumbling and bumbling and stumbling. There's Munden 42 with the cowboy collar. Looks good.
yeah.
Love a cowboy collar on a
Screen.
linebacker.
I think this is Perry Nicholson.
Great stuff.
That's Perry.
Aggressive to the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Veteran.
Mm.
That looked like McWilliams, I think,
Well,
or it
can
was
we
zone.
see? Yeah, I was going to say, can we see the linebacker that maybe should have dropped a bit more and read
Because
the
that might have
zone?
been zone,
Let's see
but
what linebackers were underneath. I kind of want to place blame there, but we'll see.
so
Is that Munden?
it's tough to tell. Yeah, it is.
So it looks like he jumped on that shorter route there where Nicholson was already. Number 31 already
Yeah, and
was.
that opened up behind him.
Now McCollum has a big hit later in this game. So that's another thing to look out for. Oh,
There's
this is it.
Bennett getting hurt.
So they mentioned it on the broadcast. He was punching at the ball. So we love that he was punching at the ball, but he got knocked around when he tried to punch at the ball there and then got shooken
Who,
up. But
Bennett?
Bennett, yeah, Bennett did. So Bennett comes in, he tries to punch out the ball, and then McCullum comes in, and the force of the two guys kind of knock his shoulder. He looked okay. He looked fine, but he was knocked out for a couple plays after that.
Is it funny that between McCullum and Sidney Brown, we have the two worser twins in the NFL?
McCullum's a twin? Is McCullum a twin?
Yeah, dude. He McCullum, his brother is on the Bucks and he's a corner. And he's actually pretty good.
No way. I didn't know McCullum was a twin too. I knew Sidney Brown and Chase Brown.
So Tristan McCullum, identical twin brother. Here we go. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Is he a
But
corner?
yeah, I think he's actually really good. Like he's actually like I think he's like their starter.
Oh, Zion. Yeah, I know this guy. I didn't know that was his brother and twin.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
funny. And then like Chase Brown is like a fantasy darling.
Uh-huh.
We've got Sidney Brown. I feel like we've got the two
Yeah.
at least buried in the depth chart. Like the other two have gotten their
That's right.
opportunities.
Yep.
Our two have been like they've got the talent. They've got the talent.
But we've got deeper team. We've got a deeper team. We've got a deeper team. That's all. They're, like you said, buried in the depth chart. They just need their opportunity.
Exactly. But I just thought that was interesting. We've got two of the twins.
Love that. Great for our brand.
Yeah. Real big fan of that. There it is. That's the screenplay.
Oh, that's the play where you're like, Munden has got it. If we just watch him throughout the whole play, right up there, reads it,
blows up
shoots
two
it.
of them.
Oh,
he blows up two of them and the tackle. 3 people in his way.
beautiful.
Bang,
he was the only guy too.
Boom.
Look at how big that play would have been if just one of those guys blocks him. And there's 2 linemen, little scrawny guys. Like we have like 6 guys out of position, and it's just Munden and like one corner. Great play.
Really awesome to see.
He talks his thing.
Fumbled, but he got it.
No, yeah, yep. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Lookie Cooper. Good for him. Good hustle from Cooper.
I know.
Really like that from
That's the
Cooper. But
only thing you could take away from that rep. Everything else
that
was
whole rep.
just, dude. He just
And look,
couldn't.
he leaves the game. Looks
Exactly.
like
Yep. Yep. We got benched right away.
Robinson still plugging away. Robinson looks like he had a good game as he runs into the wall of
Oh,
people
you mean
there.
Johnson? You mean that's Johnson, right? The running back, or is there another running back
Robinson.
named Robinson?
Number 35. Robinson.
Robinson. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. I thought it was Johnson.
Wait, okay, but there was a
34 is the other
there's
corner.
Zion.
He's the other corner. The Johnson is the corner that you were saying.
So here is yes, exactly. 35. They're both 35, but
I
offensive
see.
defense.
Okay.
So this Robinson guy is 2 years pro, it looks like. So I kind of like, who was it? Johnson better. Johnson, the running back, because he's a rookie. He's a little bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
He's 22. And then Kalen Robinson, he looked fine, but I guess that makes sense. He's in later in the game. Okay, so that was someone different than I thought. I was thinking about Johnson earlier. It's different. It's difficult with all these Johnsons and Robinsons.
And the numbers are the same.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I like here though is Cameron Williams and Hinton getting some play here.
Yes. I
That
would
was a
love,
terrible pass, but the
yeah.
protection looked okay. Yeah.
And around, and this time, Johnson is on it. Patrick
All
Johnson.
over it. All over it.
Yeah, I think he should be at least in like the rotation or whatever. Here's
That
Robinson again. Okay.
Did you see him waiting for that pitch? I hated that. Can you go back to
You
that?
didn't like that?
Look at him stare at the quarterback with no momentum, like stop and just like hands out, give me the ball. Look at this. Give me the ball.
Oh,
You should be
you know
in
what it
motion.
was though? I think that might have been a toss, but it was designed to go up like in the like
Up inside.
6. Yeah, because look at the way the blocking pans out.
To get blown up, maybe.
They don't I think this guy, he's just reading this guy. He's supposed to go in here, and I think he just sees this outside like blocking.
83 at the top there, that block. It looks like he couldn't turn him enough to get the outside. So it looks like that end is holding the edge pretty well. We'll see. Yeah, he held the edge really well.
Yeah.
And that gave it just shrank the hole for him.
But I don't think he was supposed to kick it out. I think he had to kick it out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we'd have to know the play call, I guess, for that. Yeah. Did that get tipped or was that just a duck?
That was a tip.
Good.
Yeah. Another tip. Luckily, I think they really wrap up the highlights pretty quick because they're just like this.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I do have if we want to put something in the queue for after once this is done. 46. That's another thing. It's like that was Marshall. That's right. He's like a 6'2" receiver. Yeah, he should not be in a 40s number. He should be in an 80s number for sure.
I think, honestly, when they put someone in the 40s like that, they're kind of just like, you have to earn a number and a spot. And it's like, you have to earn this. Mm-hmm. And I feel like whenever they do that, they're just kind of like, you're going to play special teams and you better make some plays if you want to make the roster. Every time there's like a 40s, you're just kind of like, they're not guaranteed. They're just going to throw them in a bunch of different spots.
You are in the foxhole, and you will not touch the Gatling gun until you at least bayonet somebody
you're in ammo duty.
throat.
You have to be reloading, and you are assisting the gunner.
Don't even look at our tank. Don't look at the tank at all. Don't even look at the Gatling gun.
That's my ammo. That's my ammo, private. You know.
That's
Don't
right.
You dare touch my
the Miami Dolphins. Go ahead. Sorry.
Column. There you go, buddy.
Yeah. Strong had a day. Strong Jr. had a day. Okay, but
Powell. That's Powell. Do you know Powell?
I don't know Powell.
I think he's a rookie. I'm not sure. Powell. Yep.
We've gotten to the point.
5'7".
Yeah. We've got to the point in the game where if I do know the guy, he's severely underperformed and he shouldn't be out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is This is a bleak part of the game right here.
Now McCollum is in there. I think he makes a play. There's like one or two guys that like actually could get playing time with the starters. Like, is that Deshaun Hall? Is he in there?
No
Evans. I have
idea.
no
Evans.
idea. Yeah, I don't
Evans.
know.
I don't think he'll make it. I have no idea
The
who he is, but
you said like the foxhole numbers is 40s for the wide receivers. 61 is what Evans was wearing. That's the foxhole numbers for the D lineman. I feel like,
yeah,
you know.
definitely.
Oh, was that almost a catch or a pick or? Oh, that was on offense. So that was just hideous. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did you want to queue up? You mentioned
Jackson Dart. I want to see Jackson Dart. And the Giants. The Giants look like they might have a competent team this year. Maybe they
shut
win
up.
6 or 7 games or 8 games because this is mainly based off the fact that the D line is above average. The D line's going to be very good. Could make the secondary look better than they are, and Russell Wilson raises a floor. I'm thinking like the Steelers last year, where they had Russell Wilson and uh, they were average, punching above their weight class in the really ugly, disgusting games that nobody wanted to watch. That could be the
Mm-hmm.
Giants this year. And I wanted to see then the upside of Dart as well, because Dart, I guess, had a pretty good game.
And Russell Wilson had that bomb that AJ was sending us as
That's right.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I just want
so
to,
they at
I
least.
saw some highlights, just want to kind of see it. I don't have any other intel other than that. And
I feel like the
yeah,
recipe for them, or at least what they're attempting to do, was like they build up this defense. They just got in a Debo, and they got in what was it, Holland, the safety, Javon.
Debo is on Washington. Debo Samuel. Is it a
No,
different Debo?
A Debo,
Who is that?
the corner from the Saints,
Okay.
Paulson Adebo.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
So
you for the
they
clarification. I thought you meant they got a player like Debo Samuel. So thank you here. If you could
no, they
you
got
maybe I could zoom in here. I just can't read it. It's too small.
so they have Paulson Adebo and Deontay Banks slotted
Dude,
in.
good for you, man. You know ball. You know
Uh,
ball.
yeah, which is why I'm going to beat you in fantasy, and you're welcome for these tips, by the way.
Oh, just because you know Giants defenders, you think that makes you better at fantasy? Come on.
I think
Come on.
it helps me with matchups,
Come
and
on.
I know which
Come on.
players are going to perform and not perform against this defense. Sure, yeah,
Yeah,
I
whatever
do.
gets you to sleep at night.
Anyway, their defense is, I think, their recipe and the way they're trying to build the roster is like the defense looks monstrous in my
Yeah.
like they look really good.
Yep.
And then last season they put all this money into their offensive line, and it kind of takes some time to kind of go. So this year they're kind of hoping for that last year's investment to kind of, you know, pay into now, and
Sure.
they just want a varied running back attack with
Mm-hmm.
Tracy, Scadaboo, Singletary, and then they just need a quarterback that can hit a deep ball every once in a while because they're a defensive team. They just want to be scheming up a couple first downs, ball control, and every once in a while keeping them honest with the deep ball,
Mm-hmm.
and just otherwise keeping ahead of the chains with their like number one Malik Neighbors. And I feel like that's their recipe to like a winning record, like 9-8 or something, is like defense is absolutely top five, lights out. Offense is like 15-ish to like 20-ish. They're kind of in that area, but they're
Mm-hmm.
just very good on like third down or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and they just have someone to stay ahead of the
They
chains.
don't
It's
even
like,
have on the depth chart there. They don't even have Abdul Carter starting. I think that defense is going to be
yeah,
nasty.
yeah, yeah. They're going to be nuts
So
though because
that's like
they're
it's like they're above average grouping. They're above average thing
they
on their team.
they really their secondary really got a facelift because last season they really hit on Newbin, Andrew Phillips, and then they brought in Adebo and Holland.
Holland from the Dolphins, I think, could really shore up their deep. football safety. Basically, their umbrella, the top of their umbrella, that felt like they were paper mache last year, even though they had a good kind of like front seven, kind of with their linebackers, and Dexter Lawrence obviously is amazing, and Brian Burns. Their secondary stunk, and so if that's improved, yeah, that could actually really make a significant difference. Tie in the whole defense, like you're saying there.
And God forbid, Deontay Banks actually pans out, because
Right. He's
they
younger.
they spent a high pick on him, and he was just like very average. I think
I'm
he was
actually
like,
high on Flott there. The backup corner Flott. He could be a good depth piece too. A fourth corner, a dime package guy. He's not horrible. So
yeah. Anyway, they're receivers. They paid Slayton. They have Neighbors. They're like a fine. It really comes down to if their offensive line actually performs.
that's
Yeah,
the biggest thing. That's right. That's a great way to put it.
because they paid a lot of money. Like Evan Neal is turning into a bust. He's like backup guard now, which
They
he's
need
supposed to
him.
be.
They need him to be a substantial starter at least by the end of that
Yeah.
contract.
But like, who knows? Like, they brought in Illuminor to be like a guy. Van Roten is like an older veteran.
He's like 35. I would guess 35 years old if you want to look at
I
it,
think he is.
because
Yeah, I think he is.
he's not going to last the whole season. I feel like
35, nailed it.
nailed
That's
it.
nice.
I know ball.
And then John Runyon, who I feel like they did this on purpose, is just to like try and twist the knife. But I don't know if he's that good.
He's not his
it's just
dad.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like he's 28. He was a sixth rounder, and he's like a journeyman at this point. He was on the Packers.
I
So
would say
like
he's
he's
average
fine.
to below average, like in that range. Like, of the top 32 left guards in the league, maybe he's like 20,
At best, like, but and then Andrew Thomas is legit like a top 5 tackle.
That's
So
high. I
like
would say top 15. You
top
said
5
top
left tackle.
5?
Top 5 left tackle. That doesn't
Really?
include right tackle.
Top
Andrew
10?
Thomas, you don't
I
think?
know he's
He
good.
was 4th overall, 26. I think he's really coming into his own. I feel like
Okay.
he's really solid.
Okay, I'll take your word.
They could, if Dable puts on an absolute show, they have the kind of setup of like a offensive line that the 49ers would have. Like, you've got Trent Williams, and then the rest are just kind of, okay guys or whatever.
Trying
And
to
then
piece it together,
you kind of scheme up the rest of them.
Right.
So I don't know. That's asking a lot.
Well,
Kind of
I think we did a good deep dive. I want to see these guys on the field now. Let's see in the highlights here if it comes together, if they look okay, what they're looking at in the back end of the roster, what Jackson Dart looks like, what Russell Wilson looks like.
And we didn't even really get into Dart too much, but I think we'll be talking about him most of this anyway, so that'll be good. We know the background and everything, but okay. And here's Allen, who, by the way, I think this game will parlay nicely into two things. One, both on the docket here in our show nights. One is some Madden takeaways. I know you were curious about. I did a Jets franchise thing. I'd like to talk to you about. You asked about the features. Same bullshit. What it is.
Yeah.
I could mention it, but then the other thing this game will parlay into is our fantasy. I wanted to do the all Zag team, and Breece Hall is kind of the inspiration for it. Yeah. And I think because of Braylon Allen is part of that.
Right.
And so we'll kind of parlay into that after this.
Yeah, and at least a little foreshadow is like Braylon Allen may, at least in my opinion, may take Breece Hall's job, or at least bite into his share of carries. So who knows what you have in store, but that's at least what we'll be on the lookout for in these highlights here.
By the way, do we know who's a quarterback for the Jets here? Number 7. That's not Fields, is it?
Is it Fields? Fields is number 2, maybe? I hope it's Fields. Maybe. I want to see Fields more.
It might be Fields. It should be Fields. It does look like Flott's out there. Adebo makes this next play. Paulson.
Have you seen this?
Against what?
Have you seen this? How are you soothsaying like that? How did you predict the future
Why
like that?
rewound? It played, and then
Okay.
I rewound.
Dayball liked it. Here it is. Russell.
Russell.
Wow.
And this is
Man, they
who is
did not have
Collins?
that. They did not have that last year. I don't know.
Who? We didn't even look at. We didn't really look at offense as much, but this guy, Bo Collins, who looks like a rookie. Notre Dame, 6'3",
Uh,
80-yarder.
I would hate if he turned into a good player as an Eagles fan,
Yeah.
but good for
Um,
him.
well, I mean, they've been trying to fucking find somebody to get it downfield, like Hyatt. They tried to get a deep ball guy, but it might be the quarterback more than
Right.
anything.
I'll tell you what, I was really excited about Pickens last year because Russell Wilson came in, and Pickens had a pretty good fantasy year, and we'll see if the Russell Wilson effect for fantasy helps out some of these Giants wide receivers here.
I mean, especially Neighbors.
Neighbors like
Singletary.
amazing last year. I loved Neighbors last year.
He's going like middle first. So who you pick? You picking Jamar Chase first overall after the Hitman got you?
I don't know. I could take
You
Jamar.
doing?
I could take Genty. What? Why would I take Genty?
Are you doing
Who knows?
Bengals? You
Who
doing
knows?
Bengals stack,
We did.
Alex? You doing
I
the Bengals
dwell.
stack?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I go Bengals. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. It's fun. There's also like Saquon's up there and Bijan Robinson are 2 and 3 are considerations too for like if I wanted to go running back instead of Jamar Chase wide receiver.
Right. And do you want to go running back?
And that's a fun thing. Is like I was thinking about going tight end. I
Right.
was thinking about
Sure.
going, yeah,
Savvy.
Brock Bowers.
Savvy.
I think I might go double tight end with the 2-3 on the turn.
You should. I think
You
you
know,
should.
why not? We got to flex.
I don't know if you've got the balls though. If I'm being frank.
Mark, do you hear this? You hear this, Mark?
Here
Hear what he's doing? See what he's doing here,
he's
Mark?
going. Oh, boy. I don't know. Did we miss Justin Fields' drive already? I feel
I
like
don't
that is
know. Look,
right.
can we look up 7? Are we sure that's Justin Fields? Can I get an ID check? Hey, hey, I feel like a bouncer. I'm a bouncer. I'm a bouncer at the club. Yeah, can I see ID? Hey, quick ID. Now,
Yeah.
you said number 7 on the Jets. Is that
Number
Justin
7
Fields?
on the Jets.
Oh,
I
you
don't think
said you
that.
just registered to New York, huh? From Chicago? Are you sure?
Yep, it is.
All
ID.
right. Go ahead. You go in the club. You're allowed. Go
So
dance with
that
the
was
pretty
a pretty
girls.
good. You remind me.
Yeah.
I've been watching New Girl again, and it reminded me of Nick when he does like a character. Um,
Really?
yeah, he's kind of like
Does he do bouncers
the
a
pretty
lot?
girl.
The pretty girls.
Who is this? First season, Kansas State.
Can you get that share screen back up? Can you get the little share screen back up there?
Can you know what I might, Alex? I can't believe I'm doing this to you again.
Do it.
I might have you vamp. I gotta pee like a racer.
Do it. Well, at least have the highlights running this time here.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yep. And so I don't even know who 15 is, but that's a nice little play he's got there going because, well, they punted. So I don't know if he caught it or not. But the big thing with these New York teams, both of them, neither of them have won the city. Neither team has said this is our city. This is our team. We are the team of the city. Um, there's never been consistency with either of these organizations. Eli Manning a little bit with the Giants, but would love to see either of these teams just take a hold of this big New York market, and, and that's just good for football. Let's see Russie here. Russie Will. Russie Will did a nice little toss, but do you see how Russie Will also went through with the fake there? So that's what a veteran does. Now, ooh. No, we had Dart. Was it Dart now? Are we into Dart? Tough to see here, but that was a lovely little double fake into the screen there. So shout out Dayball on that one. Loved that. Yes, they're going to show us here. That was Dart, huh? So Dart does a double fake into the
Oh,
screen. Look at that arm
the
angle.
fourth
That was lovely arm angle. So we were talking about Russell Wilson.
Johnson.
If this was Dart to start the drive, then I'm already impressed because now it's
Wait,
back
they
to
go
Wilson
back
again.
to Russell Wilson?
So this is where I'm like, what's going on here with them? and he throws a pick. Dayball, give the kid a full drive or give Russ a full drive, right? Because they started the drive off with Russell Wilson. Then they do this lovely double fake to weird arm angle screen pass from Dart, and then back to Russie. It's like, take the training wheels
Yeah.
off. You know what I mean? Let the kitten purr a
Yeah.
little bit, huh? Can we take it
Yeah.
outside of 60 miles an hour? Can we get up on the highway? Can we get up on the Autobahn? See, let these
Here he
puppies
is.
run.
Is this
Come on,
Dart?
Dart.
This is Dart.
Start now.
Steps up. Okay. All right.
Oh, but still, that's better than it was. It was third down, but a little
I feel like,
faster.
yeah, he looked, he had the right instincts. He just, is a fast defensive lineman. Like,
Sure.
I feel like he did the right thing.
Great punt. Great punt. Good coverage. Long snapper loves it. I was vamping, talking about no New York team has really taken New York. It's not their team. Neither team has really had
I
consistency
think
for
the
very long.
Giants have
Well,
they
during
have
the
the
Eli
Eli
era,
Super.
that
Well,
was
they
when I
have the
said,
Eli Super Bowls. They have the Lawrence Taylor, Bill Parcells, Belichick years.
yeah,
Like the Jets had Namath, and that
yeah,
was it.
70s. What was that? 80s, 70s?
That was Super Bowl III, which would have been 40 some years, almost 50 years ago.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty wild.
So, yeah, because
And
they went to
then
Super Bowl
and then they had like the
50.
Rex Ryan years when their defense was really
Yep.
good with like the
But
the
that wasn't even a Super Bowl roster.
no, it
That was just
wasn't.
a
They went to
conference.
conference. Yeah, they went to conference championships, but
Yeah.
all right, so we're getting some play from backup tight ends here. He's jacked up, love him. Feels like this guy could play hockey if he wanted to with the long hair and the
hmm
and the build.
The fake, that's a nice play.
Dayball's
The
in his bag
fake
right now.
toss.
Yep, Dayball's really in his bag right now.
It's funny because I feel like the Eagles show nothing. And then I was hearing on the Philly special podcast or whatever,
Great
they were
podcast. Yep.
talking about pick. They were talking about the Browns in joint practice doing trick plays, and it's like, all right, well, now that's on tape.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so silly. It's like it's just some of these kids are playing checkers. Some of these.
I am so excited for the regular season.
I
We
know.
got to that first week of preseason. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're back, baby! I'm watching it."
Right.
And
Right.
then this is like probably you and I are the only ones consuming these highlights at the moment. And
No,
then
there's more sickos than us. Mark's watching.
yeah, there's some sickos, I'm sure. They want to see rookies, like they want to see Dart, and they want to see that kind of thing.
A lot of
And I'm
highlights from these
sure,
games. The way you said that there reminded me. There's a lot of highlights and you know TikToks of some of the highlights here of Shador.
yeah. I have a theory, by the way, about the Browns. I have a theory that they want to be a defensive ground and pound team, but they
Mm-hmm.
have all these quarterbacks and all these storylines to be a smokescreen for the fact that they just drafted Junkins and Sampson,
Mm-hmm.
and they have Ford, and they want to be like a three-headed running machine. Instead of that being the storyline, they have all these quarterbacks, and they're just trying to have this circus be like a
Mm-hmm.
distraction from their actual motivation for the team.
Now, when are you doing your radio hit for Cleveland? There, when are you going to do like a local radio hit, like
These guys
WIP?
are ready. This
Yeah,
team now.
I've had.
I think they max out at 6 games won. I don't think I don't think they're a good team. I just think like they're trying to distract from their strategy of running the ball.
I think the owner came down from the heavens and said, "Take Shador. I need to sell jerseys." And the GM said, "What the?" And then they just had to
Yeah,
deal with it.
yeah,
That's what I think. And it's like Jerry Jones, where he's like, "It's all good marketing," but it's like, well, the team's morale is pretty shot now, and they don't
yeah.
really know who to trust.
I think Shadur was basically just like, you're telling me we could have someone completely soak up the Deshaun Watson story,
Yeah, it does. That's
and
true. That definitely helps for sure because
yeah,
that was a real blemish. That was a
yeah.
$108 million mistake.
I think I might look into a deeper dive of like that might be up there with one of the worst trades ever because of the amount of guaranteed money.
Yep.
And it completely set up the Texans. Like the Texans look, they built up Stroud, Nico Collins, Will Anderson. They look awesome.
Danielle Hunter.
Yeah.
They look great.
Who they could
D'Amico
pay.
Ryans.
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans is a good, competent head coach who I really like.
Yeah, they really took the long view, and it's paying off.
Yeah. Is this Tommy? No, Jameis is in the game. Oh, man, he is I love Jameis, but I would not like him on my football team.
No, even as a backup? I would love him as a backup.
No, wrong energy. Great energy. Yeah, great energy for life as a person, as a football player. Dial in, Jameis. Stop being so goddamn goofy, and stop being so long-winded in your I don't know.
Pregame
That's why the guys love him. Yeah, the pregame speeches. I love him as a person. I think he's a good guy, and I don't know him. It's just kind of how he seems genuine.
Yeah. Well, while this wraps up, I know you brought it up, but you were asking. Madden has some different features.
Can we bring up some B-roll? Madden B-roll? Is that what you're going to do here?
Yeah. Madden 26.
Is it worth? Is it finally worth the?
Let's see. Like, here's a review. I'm sure it's. I'd be curious what they give it on this review. Like, this IGN, they have almost 20 million subscribers. They're usually pretty good at like rating games or whatever. But we'll see what they do because it's still Madden. I think as far as Madden's concerned, it's a big improvement over what they usually do, which is close to nothing.
Was that Michael Jordan in a NASCAR commercial?
I don't know if
Sorry, I was distracted.
But
so it's still Madden, but there's some cool features given the Madden standard.
Track record. So they brought in, low. I mean, we could maybe watch it and react. Can you hear this?
I cannot hear it, but I can see it just fine.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll just kind of let it roll. But some of the things they brought in from college football, which is like they have wear and tear. So people are like fatiguing, they injure, or like their ratings are affected if there is like someone that's playing a lot. So you have to kind of manage that. You could turn that off if you want, but it's at least something they added where you're like, have to, a little bit more dynamic stuff. The other thing for franchise mode specifically is they added in play sheets, and they added in I don't know what they're calling it. They might mention it in this review, but it's like a attributes for the head coach. So the way you could spend, staff points.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know in the past where you
the tree, the tree. Mm-hmm.
They made it much more dynamic, and they might even show it in this review here, where
a snow game.
You can have someone. Yeah, the snow and the weather is much more dynamic. Like, look at this.
Wow, that looks better than it has, I think, ever.
Yeah, you like can't see, and it's like kind of intentionally done to kind of like make it
pretty
difficult.
Rad. Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Jay Jetta.
Here we go. They have another ad, but it's a more dynamic way for you to spend your staff points. Like, how you could just max out and you're like, oh, my guy's incredible. I have like the most coach XP and I could trade or whatever. And then you're done. They make it a little bit more dynamic where you have these play sheets. And like, if you're calling this set of plays, you can upgrade that play sheet and it adds attributes to your players when they do that play. So they're better at it. And you can actually upgrade that by throwing for like 300 yards or something like that and naturally upgrade it. Or if you do poorly, you let up a bunch of sacks or something, then it would downgrade it. Interesting way of like, I don't know what they're going over here. This looks like a mechanics. Oh, this is like a tutorial they're going through. Interesting. But yeah, so they made it much more dynamic. This is like some of the training stuff here. I think this is part of it. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So in your staff abilities, you can kind of see like one of them could be after school tutor. You get focus players. So if you want throughout the week, every week you could be more of like a XP kind of coach and you're getting XP to the players, or later in the season you could be more of an X's and O's coach and you're giving them boosts in game. So you can do that. You can also make it for the wear and tear. So they can train, but they're not wearing down as much. They're not getting injured as much. And then you have like these trainer abilities down here. So you could see like you can add staff abilities, you can add play sheets, and you can add trainer abilities. And you have to kind of level up as to how many you can use. And then you can go into like bronze, silver, gold, or platinum as far as how good the stats are or whatever. So it makes it much more dynamic. Each and every week, you could have a different play sheet or a different ability, or you could be trying to, get XP for your younger players, or you could be just trying to win the week.
Right.
You could even throw in some of the scouting. Maybe you're scouting for next season, and you want boosts on that, and you're kind of like punting on the season. So you just want to be scouting really well. So anyway, it gives you a bunch of like active things, and depending on how you do each week, you can either upgrade or it downgrades.
Yeah.
So anyway, it just adds another dynamic, which I think is kind of fun.
Oh, this is more nuanced look at it there too.
So this is them like selecting which offensive or defensive abilities they want in their staff loadout. So it's interesting because like if you're really good at a specific play sheet, like say you're really good at cover 3, if you run that play a lot or that like spreadsheet, those plays, you could get good at it and you can get it upgraded without spending staff points. You could just like hit the goals.
Right.
But if you do poorly, you're running cover 3 or something, and you get lit up, it could downgrade. And then you have to spend staff points to
like
get
a brand new system that they've added here, which Madden rarely does that, which is great.
Yeah. So, I mean, pretty fun that you get like, if you really want to get into the minutia of like week to week. So you can see here, like all these abilities they have, how it's affecting on the right, their overall.
Right.
Do you see like
the +5, +1, +2, +2? Yeah.
Yeah, overall it's a +5, but it's +2 to like the run offense versus their defense, and a +2 to the whatever. Yeah, so they made it much more tactical and like strategy based, which is fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're kind of perusing through the play sheets or whatever.
How's it feel to play? Yeah, how's it feel to play like that? The gameplay.
The gameplay itself finally have like I don't know if they'll show it here, but like we talked about this when we were talking about Nia Smith. Actually, you can stem every route differently, which you might have been able to previously, but defensively you can do it as well. So like a flat zone, you could move around. So like that kind of wider zone, you can kind of move it and just kind of morph the plays in real time to have it. So it feels much more customizable.
Wow. Is this all in like in hot routes? Like when you say this, like is this like in hot routes you're doing this or?
Yeah, exactly. And you can also when you're picking your play, I don't know if we'll show it, but defensively, you could select what kind of stunts you want the defensive line to do.
Cool.
So that way, like you can have your own coverage, and then you can have them stunt in a specific way to get your edge rusher on the inside or whatever. And so so that's very customizable. They didn't do that previously. And then let's see. Oh, here's the wear and tear. So the wear and tear, you can kind of see like you want to be training and getting XP, but it costs stamina and stuff. So you kind of want to weigh like, do you want them long term getting good abilities, or do you want them to rest up and be ready for that specific week? So it's a lot of like long term versus short term decision making.
Sure.
Which is kind of fun. So like earlier in the season, you just kind of like full practices. There's more injuries, but people are getting better. Here you go. So you can kind of
Wow.
see, yeah,
You have like the body
the,
parts.
yeah. That's from college football, by the way, because college football had this feature, and then Madden had it. But you could see just for that one frame, like one guy, he was injured, so he had -1 speed.
Mm.
So like, yeah, like this guy for instance, like he's hurt, so he could still play. He's still low risk of injury, but he's a little bit slower, and his tackling isn't as good. But he got some XP, so he could benefit or whatever longer term.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but then you could kind of boost up. So it feels like there's a lot more between the play sheets and the wear and tear. There's a lot more like negative, like regression on ratings, but there's with the wear and tear, but there's a lot more positive ratings with the play sheets. So there's a lot more depth in any given week as far as like there's much more variance, I should say. There's much more
Sure.
variance than there used to be.
And that seems closer to like that's just how the NFL season goes, right? It's like it's a brutal game, and then like this is just how it kind of happens. It seems like a more accurate way to kind of do it rather than just injured out, you know?
Yeah. So anyway, let's see what they end up rating it. So it looks like they end up giving it a rating at the end, an 8.
Yeah, 10?
Yeah, it looks like they gave it great, 8 out of 10, which
Wow.
honestly is shocking for a Madden game.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't have guessed because Madden's so notoriously bad.
Yeah,
You know, we've been playing the franchise for what, 2 decades and or more, maybe
yeah.
over 21 years. Madden 04.
So I mean, it's actually I think the most they've I think because they finally have college football to kind of compete with, they
Finally, a
actually
competition.
have
Right.
like a competition. Even though
Good.
they make the game, I'm sure their like internal teams are competing instead of it just being some monopoly they just spit out. So like
Yeah.
they actually have dynamic like back and
Yeah,
forth
for
things
the
they have to
longest time
change.
they were just printing discs, right? It was just like they just
Yeah.
didn't even really develop the game at all.
So yeah, it does seem pretty. It seems better, more changed than I was expecting. It's fun to play with the rookies and everything.
Are you using it as a tool for as a transition into fantasy football? Are you using it as a tool for your fantasy teams? Like, are you looking at the
Hmm.
guys? You're kind of seeing how good they're rated in Madden. You're kind of playing with them a little bit. Oh, maybe this guy's got big playability. Maybe he's a boomer bust flex guy. You doing that
I
kind of thing?
like, especially the rookies. I like knowing what their physical abilities
Pour
are
it up. What are you
because
pouring in
that's
there? What
some
are you pouring? What are you
little
pouring?
coffee.
Little cough?
It's a little coffee. It's a little French
Doing
press.
coffee. You're not going to get a wink of sleep tonight, Jacob. You're not
I'll be
going to get a wink.
fine. I'll go for a run later. Really, really churn through just metabolize it really quickly, and it'll be
Just a
fine.
quick jail set at the playground.
That's right. That is right. We'll get a quick little jail set. But yeah, so for Madden and how it pertains to my fantasy strategy, I think
Yes.
I only will use. I'll take it with a grain of salt. Obviously, it's a video game, but I think I think the things that it it can't fuck up too badly are like the physical abilities, like the speed, the strength, the acceleration, the things that they're testing at the combine that they have like at least a baseline of like, okay, this is what the person does. I can at least know those things to kind of
Hmm.
get a sense for like how they profile as a player, like especially like a running back, like Genty, for instance, or Omarion Hampton, or like the Tet McMillan or whatever, the receiver.
Yeah.
So like some of those guys where you're like you don't know what they do quite yet because they're rookies. I kind of like the idea of like, okay, what do they do? And then in the context of the ratings around them, the players around them, and the style of players around them, what do I think they're going to be doing? What does it look like? If are they going to be? Is this a passing offense or is this a running offense? You know what I mean?
Right. I think it's
So
great
anyway,
information, like additional information. Yeah.
so I kind of look at it in those ways. But anyway, I think that pivots nicely into fantasy football. I think we talked last week about we were chatting about people that you didn't like Brees Hall, and we were talking about that a little bit.
Right.
And it gave me the idea for an all Zag team. So basically, like the guys that are getting absolutely no heat, but they're kind of being drafted, and like people are drafting them, but it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. They're just not excited about them. They're just like, they're still on the like relatively high on power rankings or whatever, but they're just kind of like, they're just the bland, boring veterans mostly.
Right.
So
Now, I'm
anyway,
looking at the list here. Do you want me to run through the list here, just like talk it out, or do
yeah,
you
why
want to
don't
go
you
one by
chat?
one?
We'll chat through them and see what your thoughts are. Like,
Now,
do you
Brees
think
Hall, we'll
it's
start at the top there. Brees
uh,
Hall, I don't like him because of Braylon Allen. I think the backup running back for the Jets is a young buck who looks really good, and he's not going very high. I don't think the market has corrected for the way they're going to play those two. He's already got a year under his belt, and Braylon Allen does, and so I think they feel more comfortable giving him more carries and more of a share. And I just think that Brees Hall 41 overall is based off of him being like the bell cow, and I just don't think he will be. This is a gut feeling I have, and I've heard some like fantasy podcast people talk about it. We watched the Jets there. Braylon Allen is playing in that game. And I just remember watching last year thinking, should I pick up Braylon Allen? He had a couple good games and he flashed last year. But they were kind of a dumpster fire with Aaron Rodgers. And maybe, like we talked about last week, with Justin Fields running read option and RPO, maybe a little bit friendlier for a running back for the boxes. Maybe this running game finds a way to be successful, and maybe Braylon Allen can make a move. So that's why I'm low on Brees Hall in this sort of zag category.
so yeah, I feel like I was just kind of looking as you were chatting through and just seeing like
Mostly vamping.
where he's at. So he's at 14. They have him as RB 14 for PPR.
Right.
Now I want to see this strength of schedule. Is that like it's a really hard schedule? Is 5 stars a difficult schedule or an easy schedule? Because this is so it looks like the Jets have an easy schedule. So if there's 4 or 5 stars, like
Okay.
um, and it
Yeah, like
looks like
Dallas has like the Eagles to go against in Washington. So CD Lamb has a bad strength of schedule, 2 stars.
right, right,
So maybe
and it
that
looks like
fills.
Atlanta's in a bad division, and so they have
That makes
a
sense.
better strength of schedule.
Sure.
So I don't know. This is just one source. I just kind of Googled just to give us something to look at as we
I
talked
like it.
about this. So I don't know how valid any of this is. I'm just kind of it looks solid, and I've used Fantasy Pros before, but I put in PPR.
Should
I
we
like that it
keep
has the tiers.
should we keep ripping through the Zag list here?
Yeah, so okay, here's some other guys. And this is just kind of off the top of the dome. I was just kind of looking through some Zag players because I feel like everyone, and I partially thought about this is because I listen to a couple fantasy podcasts, and it's always like, here's the guys I love. You know, I think the
Mm-hmm.
fantasy guys that we listen to, the fantasy footballers, they
Mm-hmm.
have their like my guys, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
this is the opposite of that. This is like the all-time Zag list where you're just kind of like, here are the guys that are just hanging around, and like, should we pay attention to them, or is
Right.
this just like forget them? Like, are
Sure.
these the because the my guys are the guys that in my mind when they went through the list, it's like all these guys are skyrocketing on these lists. And they're my guys because they had lower values. So, like, if by the time we draft, you're listening to that, they could have skyrocketed and they're no longer values. So, to me, these are the guys that are falling, you know?
Yeah.
And like Brees Hall, like you said, like if you're right, like all those things are true, he could continue to fall. If he ends up falling to like 60, at that point, I'm kind of like, I would pick him. You know what I mean? Like, I would take a shot on him because at one point he was thought to have. So, anyway, I think it's a fun thing to monitor. The other guy outside of Brees Hall is like a classic, just fucking lunch pail kind of guy. And I'm looking for his name as I scroll here.
John Connor.
John Connor. I don't even see him. I might have passed him already because he's so unnoticeable. There he is. 51. John Connor is like 19. You know, like if you're in a 10 to 12 person, he's your RB2. You know what I mean? Like he's an RB2, but no one gives a shit. Everyone is like, he's like a what? 6-year veteran or something, 7-year veteran, and no one gives a shit.
Yep, he was with the Steelers for a while. Really hard runner, great goal line guy. So he'll get you touchdowns, but he's not going to get like 60-yard runs. He's going to get you like 60 yards and like a touchdown and a catch or two. If he gets you 2 touchdowns, that's his big week. You know, they got in the red zone twice and he punched it in. I dig him. I like the Zag here. I like James Conner for that reason, and I like the high floor part of him. He feels like a high floor guy. He's done it before. I'm not totally high on the Cardinals, but they're good enough. They're good enough for the offense to at least move down the field, kind of.
I think they're going to take a step forward. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. had all of this hype, and he is now post hype. He is now. I think he's almost now a value because last season you were buying his ceiling. Now I think you can buy his floor.
Like the way you put that.
And so I kind of like the other thing is like Trey McBride was incredible, and he's being priced out at his probably ceiling now because of. But it goes to show that like the offense can produce fantasy value, and I think they will have improved with Marvin Harrison Jr. being in his second season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that could open up the run game. There's one guy. If you end up falling into a James Conner kind of situation, RB2, I actually really like. This is one of those things, Alex, where hopefully I'm earning some respect here because I'm opening the door, I'm opening the cabinet, and I'm showing you what's in stock. You know, I'm showing you what's in stock.
I love it.
And I actually really like if you fall into James Conner way late, way
Trey
after
Benson? Is
Trey
it Ben?
Benson. So I think both of our like Zag guys are good handcuffs. If you get a Brees and you get a James, you could get a Braylon Allen and a Trey Benson and just head and just be like, they're way down, RB 47 and 48, and both of these guys could be like look, you can just guarantee that backfield. Now, the Jets, it's going to be a bad offense. Arizona, I think middle of the pack offense. I'd probably prefer Arizona's than the Jets, but for the cost, you're not paying a lot. And you could always drop one of these guys and not really care. You know what I mean? Like,
because that's the point of the draft where it's like maybe not even drafted, right? Some of these guys.
I think they're going to be towards if it's a 12-person league, you're going to be in the probably 12th, 13th, 14th round.
Right.
I think from the preseason, like you already talked about it, I think Braylon Allen is rising. He's starting to rise. So he might be a little bit tougher to get. Trey Benson is in a similar kind of tier at the moment. Like you can see customized tiers plus 21. It looks like these guys are rising. Whereas like Jalen Bruce, yeah. So you could tell like these guys are starting to kind of, and I think part of him rising is him coming closer to Brees because
Right.
Brees is falling,
Yep.
and so it makes sense that the handcuffs are starting to come up a little bit higher. Anyway, interesting. I think they're both interesting situations.
Keep an eye on. Jake, you sound like a
Yeah.
meteorologist in front of the green screen right now. And they're like, we're
Yeah.
seeing a lot of activity over here because it's coming.
Yeah.
They are coming together. These are two weather systems that are coming together.
Yeah,
And if
exactly.
we see that this is a category 4, this is category
Mm-hmm.
4, that's going to be a fifth rounder now. It's a fifth round hurricane that we see
Yeah.
coming.
Yep.
And
Well,
you
so
yeah.
what's interesting is like following like some mock draft type things earlier in the off season because you're like, okay, here's a baseline for everybody, and then as the preseason rolls out, as injuries happen, as trades happen,
Mhm.
then people are rising and falling. But if you kind of remember earlier, you can kind of remember like what was like everyone thinking before the smoke screens, before other
Yeah.
things were happening. And then you can kind of think like, okay, well, they do have a higher end range of outcomes. Even though they fell, I got them way cheaper than I was earlier in the off season.
Mhm.
Or you could say like, this person's way more expensive than they used to be. And if you look at why, it could be a legitimate or it could be like a bullshit reason.
Yeah. To your point here, I bring it up because we were just at him when we were in the Braylon Allen category and Trey Benson
Mm-hmm.
area. I saw here, and it's perfect for what you're saying. The fallers. I think I might, and this is I'm coming out of my cupboard right now. If Kyle Pitts is there for me, if Kyle Pitts is there in like round 11, this price is so low to me right now.
But Alec,
We talked about it briefly. I know we talked about it briefly. I have never been burned with Kyle Pitts. What I'm saying is burn me. I'm saying
yeah,
burn me, Kyle, because
I
at
just
11, burn me, dude. I will clip it. I will. I'll get a tight end before that. He'll be on my bench. He'll be the first one cut if he does the same bullshit he always does. But I want the upside. I'd like it. He's still exciting to me.
I agree completely. I just think everyone will have that opinion. I just think
Oh,
like
okay.
I
Well,
think the
I think.
value
Well,
like
you
if
said
there are
everyone.
people
I think more people have been burned by him now. It's like year 4 for him now, right? I think there's 3 years of people being like, and they pick like a high, like second or third round, or it's fifth round or sixth round, and they just get burned. So I don't think everybody feels it. I think there are people yelling his name during seances in front of Ouija boards,
yeah.
trying
But
to damn his
but
name.
but but to your point, like the exact thing you laid out, there's plenty of people that haven't gotten burned by him that are new that like they're gonna
Yeah.
see him in the 10th round and be like, I've heard his name a bunch as a hot ticket item.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm
I
there.
think,
I'm that guy.
yeah. If he does, I think there's gonna be people that then take him in the 9th round. You know what I mean? Just above
Oh, I would
where he's
never.
at.
No, I would never. But if he fell to me, burn me, dude.
I do agree. I do agree. The fact that you have Penix, the fact that you have a
Third to last bench spot. Third to last bench
I
spot.
love him as a backup tight end. He's
Right?
like premier. He's
Yeah.
premier. If he's a backup tight end,
Right.
I absolutely adore it. I think it's incredible.
What if you slept on onesie the whole time? You still get him at that, but he's your starting tight end now.
Well, then, in theory, you'd have an incredible team around it.
Right.
And that's a good, if you're not first, you're last kind of pick. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
If you're not first, you're last. And so,
I've done
yeah.
that in a couple mocks where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for Kyle at the end. And then I
But
take maybe a round or like
I
10 instead of
think
11.
he hasn't been horrendous his career. It's just he's been horrendous compared to expectation because he was an incredible elite draft prospect. He had a very good rookie season. And then ever since, I feel like he's been a good football player. Like Arthur Smith has always wanted him to be a run blocker to help run.
No.
And
this is my fault. We did cover this last time, so this is my fault. I took us down this path. But we of the Kyle points. We should move on to our next zag, I think, because I took us down a redundant road. Because if Mark is now listening to episode 2, Mark is like, guys, you did this on the first episode.
We did a Kyle Pitts rant already.
Yeah, but you can see how important it is to us now.
That's kind of my point, Alex. Is I don't think he's a zag guy because we've already talked about him, and everyone's other people are talking about him.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay,
but to your point, I think he's finally appropriately priced.
Yeah, it's a good price.
He's finally.
It's a good price.
Close. Okay. All right. Now, other sleeper, it's going to be a higher up price point that we're talking about. It's going to break. There he is.
Yeah, no,
Devontae Smith.
He relies a lot on the team and where their targets go because obviously the Eagles are amazing. We are both Eagles fans. We know how good the team is. They obviously won the Super Bowl. This all comes down to target share and how much they're going to pass the ball. They were notoriously a very run-heavy team last year, and they didn't pass the ball a lot. Given all of that, Devontae Smith still had a pretty solid fantasy year, and you think he could probably improve upon it if they throw a little bit more this year as the league wisens up and says, hey, getting Saquon was pretty good for this team. Maybe we should stop that. And so maybe there's more passing this year. Maybe there's more opportunities for Devontae Smith this year.
Yeah. I think a lot of teams are going to look at what the Rams did in the playoffs and use that strategy against the Eagles, which is they had a really strong front, and then they had safeties, and they basically said like throw over the middle, and they covered the outsides, they covered the underneath run as best they could, and they had a really strong game plan. I think people will try and do that, but you're right. It leads to, I think they did so much running last year that I think they're just due for regression, just because they're going to be, I think, more balanced. Just because so many teams are going to be like, oh, this team wants to run, we should stop that, and it will give them more situations to pass. And I think last season, so many people were like, we can take away AJ Brown. He was incredible for them, and they did that. And then Saquon was there, and he was able to just go crazy. And now it's like, okay, Saquon's there. Let's stop Saquon and make them throw. I think it'll be closer to that. Devontae Smith, to me, I think the way he's priced, he's very lukewarm. Like he's a wide receiver too, so he's not the first option on an offense. So that's part of his pricing. He then is on a very good, obviously run-heavy team that we think will bounce back. I think for him, I don't know, it's wide receiver 23. So if you're in a 12-person, it's your wide receiver 2. If you're in a 10-person, he could be like a wide receiver 3, 2 to 3. So he's kind of in that neighborhood. If he's at 47 here, and you're going at your fourth-ish pick, I think this pricing is still baked in with a running offense. There is a range of outcomes where look at T. Higgins. T. Higgins is all the way up at 23, wide receiver 14. He's a wide receiver 2, and the whole the stories behind the Bengals and the Eagles are absolutely opposite, which are the Bengals throw a ton, and they have a terrible defense, and they're going to keep throwing a million times. T. Higgins is going to be incredible. The thing about T. Higgins is he gets hurt. I don't think he's ever played a full season. so he's going to miss some games. And I think both of those teams, Eagles and Bengals, are due to regress as far as like as their tendencies. Their tendencies are due to regress. I don't think the Bengals throw as much as they did last year, just because last year was historic. Same with the Eagles rushing, both historic rates. I think they regress a little bit, and they both are closer than what these both are looking like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think T is getting a lot more hype. I think he's very good. I think he should be better than Devontae Smith, but I think they're closer. And I think Devontae Smith is, I mean, quietly very reliable. I mean, he was also hurt last year. He missed some games as well.
I would highlight this here as well as I'll make note here. You can see in my screen here, it's gotten a bit darker. Some clouds billow over the East Coast right now, and my natural light has come in. So now I look kind of more moody, and I look more other side of the moon, dark side of the moon right now. So I'm going to have my takes match that, right? So it's going to match the theme here, right?
I love that.
T. Higgins, a much bigger wide receiver than Devontae Smith, a red zone threat, a touchdown threat compared to Devontae Smith, right? He, I think, could be a number one receiver on any other team, almost any other team. Not there's a couple. T. Higgins, bigger body, bigger touchdown. I would say opportunities than Devontae Smith, and I don't think the Bengals slow down with passing. I think Joe Burrow is the type of guy that could continue to do that, um, even if the football team is down by a lot. This could be a team that's in a bunch of garbage time. Joe Burrow and the offense kind of sputters in the beginning. The defense is just tissue paper, and then they're down by like 21 the whole second half, and it's just like T. Higgins, Jamar, T. Higgins, Jamar, and it's like you just watch that. And for fantasy, I think that could be huge for the team because if they don't get Trey Hendrickson done, it could be a significantly worse defense than it was. And just
But
the
that's, I
Eagles,
feel
yeah.
like those are some of the storylines I'm thinking about when I'm thinking like earlier in the season or in the off season, you've got these mocks, and then now, and when you look at what caused the movement, whenever it's contract related, I think it is something that does not affect the on-field play. You know what I mean? Like an injury
Okay.
affects the on-field play. I think contracts with Hendrickson and also their first round draft pick, other edge rusher, Shamar Stewart, who's like a freak.
Mm-hmm.
I think both of them end up. I think it's the same thing. It's like the same model as Jerry Jones, where it's like they're cheap, but they'll eventually do it, and they just like the free publicity. And I think the defense is actually better. Like it was so bad last year. I think it will be better this year, and I think they'll be in more games. Like they won what 8? They went 8-9 with what felt like zero defense
True.
whatsoever. And I think I think you're right. The offense and Burrow and T. Higgins, like they're still going to be like the dominant offense that they were. I just think their defense will be just a small percentage point better than they were. Like they won't be historically bad again. You know,
Yeah,
like
I
they
think
were
it's a great
so
point.
bad last year. Who was it?
Yeah, I think I was
Shamar.
working off of if they don't get the, and I will say I completely forgot about Shamar. I was going off of the probability that if Hendrickson does not play, and so you're right. I do think that's a great point about Stewart there.
I just think they've done like this is something. I mean, this is funny. Something I would do in Madden, right? Is like you make a very awesome, and I think the Chiefs actually did this in real life, which is when Patrick Mahomes started coming into his own and really competing and doing well, and they still had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey was still in his late 20s, in his prime. They
Hmm.
had this amazing offense, and they drafted a very young defense. And it's very helpful that you can still win games because you have And the Eagles did this too, where you put all your money into the offense. One, you're in shootouts, but two, you get your young defense reps to, even though they're getting burned, they're still in competitive games and they're learning. And there's much more leniency for these young players because the offense is so good in keeping you in games that they can continue to grow. I think the Bengals have a young defense that I think will get better with some of their players and like perform better just because they've had a year of getting burned for a year. Like they were really under the fire and now they have a little bit more backup. They can hopefully get ahead of teams earlier and not be in a shootout, but they can be, just pinning their ears back and they know it's a passing situation, getting after with these new edge rushers, the sack leader, and in the Shamar Stewart edition, they can be, pinning their ears back and being in advantageous positions for the defense versus like, getting crushed and being down and having to scrum. Anyway.
Okay, money where your mouth is. Final take on the Bengals. Where did they finish? How many wins after all that?
I think they are better. They have a tough schedule because the Steelers got Jalen Ramsey. I think they'll be a good defense. They've got the Ravens. I think a very good defense. The Browns, whatever, but they still have Myles Garrett. I think they'll be better than last year win-wise.
10, 11, 12?
I think, yeah.
13?
I think they're at they're above 500, which is 9.
No, but you said better than last year. You said last year they were 9-8.
No, were they 9-8 or 8-9?
Check. Sorry, I thought it was 9-8. Maybe I'm wrong. Record last year.
Record 24. Were they 8-9 or 9-8? Oh, 9-8. You're right. I thought they were.
So you're putting them up at 10 this year. You think 10?
I think they ended on a 5-game win streak. I think they ride some of it, and they have an improved defense. I think they get closer to 10. Yeah, I think
11.
I think 9 or 10. I think they get a wild card spot.
Okay.
I just think Burrow is so good that
he is. Hope he stays healthy.
So is Jamar.
That's the big thing. That's the only thing that stopped Burrow is he got injured one year. Well, a couple years maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the Zag list because we had T. Higgins, so we didn't hit on T. Higgins there. Oh, this is fun. You in the notes instead of Kyron Williams, you put in Karen Williams, like being a real Karen.
Did I?
I put in the parentheses there, Kyron. But I thought
did I put Karen?
You did, but I thought for a second. Well, I thought. Is he making a dig? Is he making a dig at Kyron Williams? Does he think?
No.
Is he making a dig being Karen Williams? So I did want to keep that, but I put Kyron in parentheses there. Yeah, I think for him, I don't have too much to say other than has the potential to be a workhorse. McVay doesn't normally play rookie running backs a lot. Blake Corum was a rookie last year. Maybe Blake Corum actually gets some play after 1 year of being a rookie and not getting any play. This is a McVay tendency. So maybe Kyron isn't as much of a workhorse. Maybe Blake Corum finally has a breakout year. Other than that, could be kind of more the same for Kyron where he has 10 weeks where he's a bell cow, and then maybe the other 6 to 7, maybe he's hurt for a game or two because he's been running so much, and then maybe another one where it's they kind of do a ride share. They do an Uber ride share, and they have Kyron and Blake Corum kind of splitting carries in the back seat while McVay runs the aux cord for the Uber.
I like him later. I think he's so slept on. I think he had a really good fantasy year.
Sorry to bother you. Can you picking up any of the rain that's coming down at all right now? Are you picking up any of that on my mic?
No.
Okay, it's really coming down. As you know, I'm in the skylights are over here, so it's really coming down. I wasn't sure if you could hear it on the mic.
What?
Sorry to interrupt.
Can you peer? Can you show us a little bit of the rain? Are you able to show it?
Show it, yeah. Yeah, I could give you a little bit. I see the rain coming. Can you see that or no?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
It's
kind
really
of blurry. It's really coming down. But
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. I speaking of it being rainy and bleak, Kyron Williams seems like his
yeah,
outlook is it's
kind of
really
bleak.
falling. Yeah, and you can see -11. It looks like. I don't even know what this exactly means. What is this? Ranks worse than his ADP. Okay. Wait. So he
I kind
ranks.
of like don't know where to
So
put him. Like, Kyron Williams, like,
yeah, it's interesting because there's like you mentioned Corum, but there's a part of me where like I jumped on the Cam Akers train because I was like he's a McVay running back and he's the
right.
young guy and he was terrible. He was
Yep.
so bad and Blake
Yep.
Corum could be that like high, you know, college pedigree, whatever, and like everyone's like, oh, this is gonna be the guy, and then he doesn't give a shit. He just hands it to Kyron and
Yeah.
Kyron's the guy that's rolling through. Kyron was one of those guys last season where I would always look at him and be like, I wish he was on my team. I I had a lot of those weeks last week. I think
I
Slack
like
had it.
that. Jake, I like that a lot because that's what fantasy comes down to. At its core is you want a guy on your team that you like checking when you check because that's what you're doing. You're checking your lineup, and he
I
feels
don't
like
even.
a stalwart, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah. I just feel like okay, so RB12, right? So you're looking at like a high end running back two, right? So I think he's a high end RB2 as far as the rankings right now. Tier five, they got him at the 35th overall, so potentially third round. And there's a world of like there's a series of outcomes where he's a potentially ceiling wise, he could bump into that top 10. Like that's only a three running back jump.
he's
So
been there.
like
He's been there before.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so he could be at the high end in RB, like let's say he's got a plus minus of 2 to 3 running back slots. Either way, his ceiling is
Mhm.
4. His ceiling, he could be top 10, he could be number 8, or he could be down closer to like maybe 15, 16 or something,
A
right?
second flex. He's like your fourth, like your last flex spot.
Well, my
On the low
point
end.
here is even if he hits his floor, he's still, I think, an RB2. I still think
Okay.
he's, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just a lower end. He's not the best RB2. He's like instead of 12, he could be maybe the 15 to 16. You know what I mean?
I
Best
always
running back.
I always love it when a guy is getting at least 10 points. Get me double digits
Mm-hmm.
and keep me around and then maybe you have a 20 or something point game, but like if your floor is around 10 points, however you get it, you're going to keep your spot. You're going to keep your spot in my lineup, and it feels like Kyron does that. It feels like he's getting at
Well,
least 10 points for you, right?
I'll go even further, I think, because I feel like when you're constructing a fantasy roster, what you really, really want is one, maybe two, and if you're really lucky, three of those guys that can average 20. If you could, there's usually like in a given season, like, I don't know, maybe like quarterbacks are one thing. You've got quarterbacks, and so they're kind of, but as far as flex players, there's maybe four of those guys, maybe if
Six,
that.
six, maybe six.
Yeah, six. Like you had Jamar for sure. CD I think
Saquon,
has that.
Saquon.
Saquon. Yep. So like, if you can try and find those guys, if you could get, and then I think quarterback, you can more reliably have maybe closer to 10ish guys get like averaging 20. You know what I mean? And so if you could get one of those quarterbacks, one of those other guys, one of those six, that's between two positions. You're averaging 40 to 40ish, 5ish. You know what I mean? Like if you can get those two, I think that's huge. That third player, you want to be in the neighborhood of like 15, like 15, because that's a more likely outcome. I think Kyron is that third to fourth guy that if you could nab one of those other guys and right where he's located, 35, that's your third pick, if you're really lucky, your 4th pick, if he
Mm-hmm.
falls a little bit. He could be an RB1, like we talked about, if he gets into that top 8 and he's getting around 15 in your 3rd slot. I think that's massive. And I think, to your point, like you want those guys getting double digits. I think he's a guy that can get like 15 and maybe even on a week here and there, if he's getting touchdowns, he could jump into 20.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns is 12, right? So then it's like, what do you need? A couple catches, and then how many yards are you getting? 50, 60, that kind of gets you there. So yeah, Kyron's he seems very similar to James Conner, which is why I like that you put him in the Zags. You also put Joe Mixon in here, which he's had years where he's been a bell cow. His whole thing to me is just injury fear.
Yes.
Because when he does play, especially in PPR leagues, he is valuable. And a guy like you're saying, you look at him, you go, "Gosh, I wish I had Joe Mixon. What was I doing at that point in the draft?"
Where I don't even know where he is. I don't even see him.
Joe Mixon is also injured, so maybe if you're looking for the injury thing, maybe I don't know if that's what the indicator is.
There he is. So to me, they've got him at RB31, which to me, pick 93. I just think this is one where I'm like, okay, he's injured. How bad is it? Like last season, he was really solid. Like he was very.
Now they got Nick Chubb. So they're doing they're doing. It feels the same to me where it's an older veteran coming off of an injury, and they might just try to see which guy still has juice.
Yeah.
Because they both it could be horrible. They both could be over the hill and done, or it could be great and they each have and a great outcome could be as low as they can spell each other. Chubb's getting the first and second down, Mixon's your third down running back. Stroud has a bounce back year and the offense looks more competent
as well.
Yeah, he doesn't do it for me. I get nothing else other than he doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. Now,
he might be
you
the
really
next.
have to his status. It looks like email reports Mixon expect to be out an extended period of time.
Right.
That's a little bit damning.
Could be your IR spot, and you're thinking, hey, week 7, week 8, I got a running back full time now.
Yeah. Where did I say he was? 90 or something?
So that's what, like your 8th pick, 7th pick, or 8th pick?
Probably
in
8th
a 12
pick. So you've got like your QB, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end, flex, maybe second flex. So he's going to be either your second
flex?
I mean, we have the double flex. If you're just doing a 1 flex league, kind of like the
first off the bench kind of the guy.
Yeah, he's your first bench guy that like you put in the IR spot that you hope by the end of the season he helps you during the playoffs.
Right.
And
they're saving him for that. He's the veteran that they go Nick Chubb early, maybe Mixon late, and then he wins you games in the playoffs,
Right.
That's best outcome.
Yeah. So, and for the price, like he's going outside, like is there a world you pick him? Like the other one I don't even know if I put him in the notes. ETN. ETN is right around the same
spot. Did he just
spot.
fall off a cliff from ADP compared to last year, huh? He was in the top bell of the ball last year. Bell of the ball. Yeah, everybody wants to, did you watch Bridgerton? Do you know the reference?
I know Bridgerton. I haven't seen it, but
it's about medieval courting, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to court, and it's all about dating for land and property. And everybody wanted to go to House ETN last year. Yeah. Everybody wanted House ETN. And now a disgraced name in the entire community. Nobody will even look at it. And I honestly, I'm high on the Jags this year. Can I give you a little piece? I'm kind of ranting here, but the Jags, the head coach, he goes Duval. You saw that? Did you see that?
I love him. I think he's great. The Bucks were one of the best fantasy offenses last season.
Not the Jags. You said the Bucks because of him, right? Because he was coming from the Bucks. Right. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So exactly. So I'm like that. I like the juice. Did you see? This is my little welcome to the cupboard. I'm coming out of the cupboard. Did you see in preseason the kicker hit a 70-yard field goal? Little. He's going as the last kicker off the board.
You went
I've
in.
changed. I've changed all my draft strategy. I go no kicker anymore. I don't need Aubrey. I don't need Aubrey to go early on Aubrey. Who gives a shit? Then I go late. I get new Aubrey, which is little, and the Duval, and I'm like, I just want to be a part of it. I just want to be a part of the Jags because if they're good, if Trevor Lawrence finally has a good year, and obviously the big news with Travis Hunter being if he can be good on offense and give a little bit of juice and just a lot of extra points and field goals, I like the Jags. I'm optimistic about the Jags. Maybe I won't go too far to say.
Alex,
I want them to be good.
I'm gonna do something here, and hopefully this is gonna earn me some goodwill here. It's not even the cupboard at this point. I'm gonna walk you down the hall. We've been drinking, and I'm gonna show you the wine cellar. I'm gonna show you the wine cellar. I'm gonna.
Wow.
It's
oak.
Wow. It's oak. It's a humidor is in there.
Yeah.
And it's
it's
temperature controlled.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you. This is going to be like a 96, just a blend. It's a red blend. It's going to be incredible.
Is it a Bordeaux?
Yeah, it sure is. Now, Alex,
what are the notes like?
I wrote two things in a note in my phone at the end, like in the end of last season, as like Jake. These are the things, okay? Now, hopefully, Alex, I hope you crack a sparkling wine with me later. This is a red, a deep red. I wrote two things. I wrote Lad McConkey and Brian Thompson.
Yep, Junior. Yep.
Brian Thomas. So Brian Thomas, Lad McConkey. End of last season, I said, Jake, get these guys. Now, having said that, I think everyone and their mother also thought that, and their values skyrocketed. So,
absolutely,
when I was writing that, I was like, holy shit, these guys, they're both rookies. Now I think they have Brian Thomas is going
tier 2,
first round, he's first round. Lad McConkey's second round.
So the very beginning of the second round,
yeah. Now, having said that, you talked about last stream. You got the Jamar Chase, you've got the T Higgins, you've got Chase Brown, you've got. I think
Burrow.
You want to get in on Duval. Stack. If you get a later pick, you go Brian Thomas, who is an investment, but if he falls even a little bit, if you get him on the turn, you get guys back to back. You go amazing. Brian. Later, you go. I mean, you can even wait. Pick your favorite players in second, third round, and you wait until. God, when is I'm
you going ETN and
Travis Hunter. You go Travis Hunter. So you go, I mean, to me, you get Mike Evans and Godwin, right? Last season, you go Brian Thomas is your Mike Evans. Godwin, he's coming off an injury, whatever. He's your Travis Hunter. You get those guys, and then you can even sprinkle in ETN.
Tank Bigsby. You gotta go
Tank. There's even, have you seen, and now this is my Madden coming in here, Tootin. Have you seen Tootin?
Yes. Beischel, I believe is his first name. Is it Beischel? Did I nail it? Beischel Tootin.
I lost him. No, his
because he's one of the rookies.
Tootin.
Tutankhamun.
Here he is. You nailed it.
Beischel.
164.
Is it
this
Beischel?
Guy could, to me, he could be Achan.
Yep.
He's a burner. He's a glass cannon, but I think part of the reason ETN is falling is because you got Tank and you've also got Tootin. If you want to corner this market, you can go. If you got that pick and you're aiming for Thomas, you get Travis Hunter way later. Maybe you pick him a little bit ahead of some other people, just to get the strategy down. And then with your last fucking pick
Trevor
Trevor
Lawrence, yeah.
Lawrence.
Yeah. He
He
goes
could be
he
the
goes so late. Yeah.
absolute last pick. It's like and again, you're getting in on Duval. They were the best fantasy offense. And now in Jacksonville, it's like Buccaneers light. And they're
Yeah.
cheap. They're so cheap. Besides Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas is the only one where like he looks like a legit guy.
Yeah.
And I think he's worth the pick because you had Evans and Godwin last year. I think he'll have a
Now where do
better
you
quarter.
like where are you at with just this strategy in general of going all in on a team, right? Because we did this with the Bengals, right? There's part of me that gets a little gun shy going crazy. Like three of those guys would be good, right?
Well,
Any kind of
yeah.
three would be good depending upon where they fell in the draft. Like Trevor
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence obviously seems like a good backup quarterback because it's so late and it's so cheap and so easy to
Mm-hmm.
do. That seems pretty good compared to like other guys you'd be drafting around him. Tootin seems similar.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas are definitely the expensive ones. And ETN, it's like, and Bigsby are kind of like in no man's land. They're kind of like, they're kind of like floating around like they just dropped off the face of the earth from
Well, I
last year.
think I think the three of them, those three running backs, like if you pick them all up at the end and then you're just like, I'm gonna drop one to two
Whoever
of these
doesn't
guys.
play. Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
I'm just drafting them to have the opportunity to see how this plays out. And if you're talking about the Bucks and the way it kind of overlays, like they had the Ricard White receiving back kind of guy, which kind of seems like ETN a bit. And
Mm-hmm.
then Tank seems more of like the
Bucky
like
Irving.
Bucky Irving between the tackles, who Bucky is like everyone loves Bucky and
He's
so
so high
maybe
now. Yeah.
yeah, so maybe Tank is kind of the pick because you're like, okay, if that's the style they want to be running, maybe Tank is the guy, and then Tootin is just like this wild card boomer bust. And I don't know. I think Achan came on really late, if I recall his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like ETN is like, he was the last regime that picked him. There's something interesting. Maybe you don't pick ETN. You pick Bigsby and Tootin, and you just see which one of the
Yeah.
two hits. Maybe you just kind of do something like that.
And because that's like floating around, like you're in bench spot 4 and 5. Um,
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
also like. I mean, this is maybe not the wine cellar, but we're like in like a back of the cabinet here,
Mm-hmm.
where I would say I I kind of want to have top waiver wire spot week 1 or 2. So if
You're
there's
gonna
a
lose.
loss, if I lose week 1,
Well,
that's when I want to
Alex.
lose. Is week 1
Well, I.
because those top waiver wire guys in
But
weeks like
but
the first like 4 weeks, like
but
those
that's
are
it. You got to look at the settings because for the Fellowship of the Fantasy Ring, it's an
the
auction.
auction. True,
Yeah.
true.
So
I am
you can't.
thinking our traditional league.
Yeah.
I am thinking in that terms in waiver
Yeah.
wire traditional waiver wire order, being that to explain it to Mark here, that it
Mm-hmm.
is whoever
The
lost,
last.
yeah,
Yeah.
whoever kind of lost or had the worst, they have the best
I
or the
think they
best
go
chance. Waiver
points
wire
for as
one.
well.
Right, right, right. So whoever had the worst
Whoever
week,
scored the least points.
yeah, they have the best
Yeah.
chance of getting the best pick in free agency. And
They get the
I mean,
waiver wire
usually it's like
priority.
waiver wire priority. Thank you. I feel like weeks 1 through 6, waiver wire is crazy, and then it like quarterizes after like week like 7 or 8, where like all the good guys are nabbed up, and maybe there's a guy that like slips through, but Usually, like, your roster is pretty set after like 7 or 8. There's like some fine tuning. There's some injuries that happen. It's not
Yeah, there's
everything.
still it's just less volume of it. There's less
Right. That
volume.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
And so I
Because
think you're
not
right.
everybody you
Like,
draft is going to be on your final roster, and not everybody that's undrafted is not going to go rosterless, right? So there's always every year a bunch of like that's why in the last couple picks, I don't care. I've been drafting. Here's another little cabinet one. Keenan Allen. Keenan
yeah.
Allen just got drafted. He was undrafted in the draft.
Hmm.
Your last pick, you get Keenan Allen. He's on the Chargers again with Herbert, and there was just an injury, I think, to their one of the wide receivers for not
They had
Ladd.
Mike Williams retire earlier in the offseason. So
Palmer
that kind of is
left.
already, what's that?
Palmer left as well. Joshua Palmer
Palmer
left.
left. Um, and
They
then
got a
Najee
rookie.
got his eye
Burned his
firework thing.
burned his eye off.
Yeah.
Classic July
So
4th. But that's running back. I'm talking about just wide receiver. I think it's Trey Johnson or Trey somebody.
Harris.
Is a Harris is the rookie? Is that the guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he got hurt, or maybe there's another guy that got hurt. So I think Keenan Allen is like could be like wide receiver like 2 pretty quickly, and not like but like a flex guy, not like a top guy, but could be a flex guy, could be a touchdown vulture kind of guy at the end of the draft. He could be one of my Zag guys because he's going undrafted. Speaking of the undrafted market,
Yeah.
is this category here?
I was monitoring with Keenan Allen. To your point, like I was really hoping Ladd would fall a little bit,
Mhm.
just like a couple picks. You know what I mean? And kind of if he could bump to the third round, that would be amazing. Because I don't think his value is really impacted. But Keenan Allen does a very similar thing. Like they do a very similar thing, Ladd and Keenan, and it's like I'm sure the team is happy that like they know what they have with Ladd and maybe they're just like, let's get them both involved to keep them both fresh. You know, like that's a possibility, but I don't know if it's super likely.
We got a couple guys left here on the Zag list. Do you want to kind of rip through some of these guys here,
I do. Yeah,
or is
so
there something?
Stefan Diggs is another one.
I got.
Actually,
I'll be honest. I feel like I'm firing at the hip with him. I don't know what's going on with him off the field.
Alex,
Didn't something happen?
I think so. I'm actually really cool here. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, at least for Stephon Diggs, I am not sure at all kind of what happened to him or what's going on with him. We have listed here Jacoby Myers as well. So this is also so Stephon Diggs on the Patriots now as a wide receiver. Drake May is exciting. So we feel like Drake May could have a really nice sophomore year. I know there's a lot of hype, obviously, in New England around Drake May. So Stephon Diggs, he could be a recipient of a lot of catches from an up and coming, I would say, offense with Drake May there. Jacoby Myers came from that system. So Jacoby Myers is now in Las Vegas, which they have Pete Carroll there. Obviously, Genty is a big one. And Geno Smith is sort of the big ad there. So they got Geno Smith kind of manning sort of just I'd say, premier bridge quarterback, right? So top end of the bridge quarterbacks. High, 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 high. And so Jacoby Myers could be a guy as well. So he's sort of the second guy here. Stephon Diggs seems boomer bust given the upside of Drake May. Jacoby Myers seems more of like a safe pick to me because he's kind of slotted in as wide receiver 2 there, maybe 1. Obviously, Brock Bowers is the primary target there at tight end. Below this, we have Jawan Jennings. So now Jawan Jennings is part of this amalgamation for the 49ers. He's in the 49ers wide receiver group, and Jawan Jennings is a guy that had this happens a lot with the Kyle Shanahan offense, right? He picks favorites, he has playmakers, and they have huge weeks. And like you see a 4 or 5 week clip of Jawan Jennings, and he's destroying it, and then he disappears. He got hurt. They have Kittle. They had Debo. They got rid of Debo. They have Ricky Pearsall. Now they have Jawan Jennings. Ayuk is kind of coming back into the mix from an injury. This is a talented player who has injury question marks and has primarily it is usage rate question marks with the Kyle Shanahan offense and with the playmakers around him. So that's where it's like he could be great if they feature him as a premier part of the offense and his usage rate is high and he stays healthy, which he hasn't previously. So that's where I'm at with Juwan Jennings. Briefly touched on Stephon Diggs while you're gone, Jake, and then Jacoby Myers being a part of previously the New England Patriots offense, being there with Geno. I call Geno the premier bridge quarterback. Of the bridge quarterbacks, Geno Smith, cream of the crop. And like top bridge quarterback. So Jacoby Myers, high floor, kind of solid around the middle. Stephon Diggs, super hit or miss to me. Have no idea. Could be amazing. Could be the Drake May coming out party this year. Could be the number one target for that, or could absolutely do nothing. Could not even be on the field. So I have no idea with him. Juwan Jennings, we just talked about usage rate, that kind of thing.
What I like, I think, I'll start with Stephon Diggs. I don't even know where here he is, 75. So wide receiver 35. So he's looking as like your third receiver, like a flex kind of guy. I think he has potential to be a wide receiver. I mean, Jacoby Myers is interesting too. He's right there, but we'll talk about him next. Stephon Diggs, what I like is I think he was, I don't remember his season last year. Like, what did he even do really? He was on.
For who?
What's that?
Who are you talking about?
Stephon Diggs. What team? I can't remember. I'm blanking.
Bills. He was disappointing for the Bills, I think, right? He was on the Vikings originally.
Oh my gosh,
then he went to the Bills.
But I think the point being, he's such a low. He got hurt.
Let me look it up here because now I'm forgetting sort of my Stephon Diggs mythology here.
I can't remember season stats.
Texans?
Yes, thank you. Yes, right. And then
I forgot he was even on. He's really bounced around, huh?
Yeah. So I just think he's very low. His value is very low, and I think he's had some really good highs in his career.
He's been dating Cardi B. So Jake, that has to. What does that mean?
Rejuvenate. Yeah.
Okay, so it's good. Okay,
it's a good thing. I also like he's got a little bit of crazy in him where he's playing the Bills twice. I like that.
But you want the revenge game.
I love the revenge game, and baked in with the Drake May
coming out party.
Like him really like announcing himself becoming more of like a passer instead of being on the shitty team. I think their defense will be much better. They'll be in games, and I think like as far as target share, I think Henderson will be really good. I think they'll check down a lot. The rookie running back, I think
I've been very excited for him. He looks great in preseason. Henderson, you brought up Henderson.
Yeah.
He's already getting a lot of hype though.
Got hurt. Receivers got hurt, and so I think he'll be very good. But he's
got juice.
Be like what's that?
He's got juice. Sorry, he's got juice.
Yeah. Yep. And they've got Hunter Henry is still the tight end.
Yeah, he's fine.
So I'm not worried about that target share wise. Their receivers, like I feel like they've just been throwing a bunch of people at that position, late draft picks for years, and just no one's sticking. And so like Kyle Williams is the latest one. Obviously, Demario Douglas, I think Pop Douglas, people like him, sort of, whatever. Like, no one else here feels like it feels like it's a funnel offense to Diggs. You know what I mean? Like, Kyle Williams, maybe?
They got the rookie Will Campbell, too, so they got line help, offensive line help, so maybe that helps this passing game a little bit here.
Yeah, I think they'll be a still a bad team, like 500-ish. Kyle Williams is a rookie, but he's only a third rounder. He's not like crazy. I don't know. I just think Diggs for the price he's going, 75, you're picking like, again, that's like your flex. Like you could get a wide receiver one, you know what I mean, who used to be like a top 10 receiver that is like in your flex. You could go either way. You could bench him depending on matchups or whatever, but he's a number one receiver. And if Drake May really does take a step, I have no idea who competes with him. You know what I mean, for targets. Who's going to be the guy outside of Stephon Diggs? Like Douglas, Kyle Williams, Hunter Henry do not seem threatening as far as like high volume guys. So
Right.
if you believe in Drake May, I think Stephon Diggs could be a really good.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't look at the depth chart until now, until we just went through it now, and that makes me more optimistic about him than previously. Because before, I just felt like kind of washed up is what I was thinking of.
Totally.
When
I mean, there's a reason he's going this late, and I think there is some wash to him. He's coming off like injury. I think Jacoby
the Cardi
Myers.
B thing too. Can we circle back? The Cardi B
Sure.
thing. A little bit of juice there. You said it was positive, and it's like I'm thinking like you don't want to be embarrassed if you're dating Cardi B, and she's like coming to a game, and she doesn't really care about football, is my assumption, and she's like, "Why weren't you good?" And now you're getting shit at home, and you don't want to. I mean, it's all status oriented there. It's
Oh, maybe
all
that drives him to be
image.
better. He needs
That's what I
that.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That might help him. So maybe
I think he's got enough. Like, I think he's a good enough talent that like he could. I mean, fucking this happened with Randy Moss. He went to the Raiders, and everyone was like, "This guy's washed. He's not good anymore." And then the Patriots got him, and he's really good, whatever. And I like the revenge games against the Bills, and you get two of them. I like that a lot. So anyway, I just think wide receiver one this late. Jacoby Myers is a similar thing, where it's like they're bad offenses. I will give you that. They're not going to be great, and this is a complete zag. The whole point of this is it's zag kind of picks. But just kind of making the case for these guys that no one really likes. Like if you look at
now we're
the
getting down. We hit Jawan Jennings, we hit Jacoby Meyer, we hit Stephon Diggs. You're Dallas Goddard now. We did
Mhm.
briefly touch on Geno Smith being a bridge quarterback, premier bridge quarterback. Dallas Goddard, his is all injury. This seems similar to
and
Jawan Jennings
contract.
notes. True, the contract was good. Well, but
Well,
I was gonna say his. You think is his contract year? You mean?
sorry, are you talking about Dallas Goddard still?
Yeah, I was going to relate him to Jawan Jennings in that it's injury based and it's an offense that has a lot of other playmakers, so it's usage rate based for Dallas Goddard for fantasy value because you're like, he's a good tight end. He's really solid. Obviously, going to be on the field a lot because he's a good blocker as well. When he catches it, he runs people over. He fights for extra yards. He's a good runner after. He gets tight end screens even sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all positive. That's all good. The drawbacks, I think, are injury and maybe it's just a Saquon game. Maybe it's just an AJ Brown game.
I also think there was all those trade rumors that he was potentially going to leave. I think that sunk his value a little bit too, because it's kind of like, does the team really value him? I think that might have depressed his market a little bit.
It was a sad
Yeah,
market.
what's that?
It was a sad market. Like you
Yeah.
said, it was I couldn't get out of bed, just depressed.
Uh, and so I just think he is
Hmm.
like tight end 14. What is this? He's just the end of
Yeah,
the draft. And I think he has the ability to be a top 10, like a
sure.
starter. And you could just get him very cheaply.
Right,
So I think
right, right,
that's a
right.
really helpful thing to kind of go after. So I don't know. Just seems like there's value. It seems like it could be something that
Good.
could be helpful. But
Hmm.
I think that's one. I think the
Hmm.
other thing I know we talked about is so the other one
He's great. So I found value with him when it comes to if you get Lamar Jackson in like the second round or something, like he falls to you. Then
mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, Bateman is your last pick of the draft, and he's a stack. So he's kind of
Yeah,
like a nice little stack that you can get here
I
for
think
super
he's
cheap.
like I remember him being kind of like interesting last year as well because they have Zay Flowers, they've got
Hmm.
Mark Andrews, they've got Likely, they've got Derrick Henry. Obviously, Lamar's running as well, and so he hasn't. It's been like what is it, season 3 or 4 now for him,
Hmm.
and I think they've given him a lot of time. I just think it's so cheap that you're right. Like he can just be one of those guys where it's like, who knows if Zay Flowers gets hurt, if they end up just like he is able to get kind of carve out a wide receiver two, or at least get some, like, it's going to be such a good offense that
Mm-hmm.
he'll have a lot of good looks, a lot of one-on-ones, and like I think it could be a really interesting situation where he doesn't have a ton of competition on a really good offense, and he could really,
Yeah,
really
I'm
go
looking at the
after it.
depth chart now because it's like, didn't they get DeAndre Hopkins, right? Like, didn't they
They
off the
did. You're right.
Chiefs?
You're all right. They got
And that's
Hopkins.
that doesn't deter me too much. Obviously, they have Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, but Bateman's listed as the number two, like you said.
Yeah, I got it pulled up here as well, and I think
So,
it's just getting such a cheap player on one of the best offenses.
yep,
Like
yeah.
that's the value. Because you're right,
And
the
also, it's like
Hopkins
he
is
gets
there,
big play.
and
Huh?
and
Well, I was
if
gonna
it
say
was
he.
like if it
You go, you go, you go. Sorry.
sorry, I was just saying, like, if this is like a bottom offense and this is the lineup, it's Flowers, Bateman, Hopkins, then it's like this looks terrible. But the fact that it's
Mm-hmm.
like a top five offense and you've got a guy that you can get in the last round, that seems like enough of a flyer coin flip that I'd at least entertain it.
Yeah, yeah. My. So I was just gonna bring up like Lamar will have these plays that no other wide receivers really have this outcome. Like maybe on the Washington, but the wide receivers here have the upside of like they could have like an 80-yard bomb because Lamar Jackson ran around for like 8 seconds in the backfield. And then now
Mm-hmm.
this guy's wide open. And Zay Flowers and Bateman are like shorter, like speedster endurance runners, I feel like. And they can kind of do these like kind of crazy longer routes or scramble drill basically touchdowns is what I'm saying. So I feel like they have higher scramble drill potential for big plays. Like he could have two catches in a game and have a great fantasy week where he has like an 80-yard touchdown, you know?
I think Bateman's a little bit more rounded. He's like 6'1", and so he could kind of climb the ladder. I think Flowers is more of the shiftier guy. I think Bateman is a little bit more jump ball, but he's kind of a rounded player.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. I think he is a good scramble drill guy. And maybe Hopkins could be too, but um, yeah. So okay. I mean, anyway, those are the guys I had, who I think are just, I don't know. They're just players that are like, they're getting no hype, and it just seems like something like I I feel like they're going to be undervalued because they're just plummeting, and it's like they just they don't feel great. They don't feel like a fun pick, but
Mm-hmm.
the case for them could be pretty high, and
Right.
uh,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
so I think it would be, interesting guys to look at. Is there anyone else that you thought of while we were chatting about this?
Let me even just kind of looking at this here. I was curious about your thoughts about the Broncos, all of the Broncos. Bo Nix. You look at Cortland Sutton, I really like a lot. Cortland Sutton
Yeah.
seems like he's a number one touchdown red zone guy that if he's
Mm-hmm.
my number two or my flex wide receiver, I feel great. I'm really happy. Could be a number one. Yeah, there he is around the Metcalf like this area, if I'm hitting the turn and I'm getting Metcalf or like Sutton Metcalf as like my number two and number three with like
Mm,
if I got Jamar Chase, like say it's like the league, I get the number one pick, then I go running backs, but then I'm like on the turn again and I get like Sutton and Metcalf. These are like big red zone threat guys is who I
yeah.
want to be focusing on. This is another cupboard tip that I'm thinking about in the back of my head. Is this year I'm focusing on wide receivers that are red zone threats, big body guys, like the
Mm,
Madden players I want. I'm putting together the
mm,
Madden team I want, kind of, where
mm,
because I want red zone looks is what I'm thinking
yeah.
about this year. Usually I go PPR whore. I'm a little PPR whore and I go,
Oh yeah.
give me all the little screen pass guys. Give me Wandell Robinson for
Yep.
nothing at the end of the draft because he's going to get like 5 screen passes. So that's 5 free points as a floor. And then
Yep.
whatever you do with it, Wandell, whatever you do with it. But now I'm like, no, 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 no. Give me the guy that gets like 3 catches on a bad day, 2 of them are touchdowns, where it's
Yeah.
like at least he's getting touchdown looks. Where we're looking at Zay Flowers previously, he's not even getting looked at in the red zone. He's just split out wide, keeping a cornerback busy. Unless it's a scramble drill, I don't see Zay getting too many red zone touchdowns, like on the 5 and in or 10 and in. But I want like big body Cortland Sutton, DK Metcalf, obviously like an AJ Brown. I'm at the top end, but even if you get down Pickens, I think would be great. The Tet. I'm gonna learn his last name. The rookie for the Panthers, Tet Noah
It's Mick. What is it? McMillan.
McMillan. He's another one where he's like huge, and I'm like, okay, these are my guys that I'm doing like check plus plus on the list.
Mm.
Big body late receivers would obviously even be better. Michael Pittman is another one. He has
Mm.
terrible value now. The Colts are in the dumpster. Anthony Richardson could accidentally injure an audience member if he throws it too hard into the first row. So they're super low, but if they have any sense of semblance and he has any type of like good season, Pittman could be like a Sutton. He could be like a red zone threat for just a decent offense. I think that's a good player or somebody I'm looking at later for as he's like a poorer version of these guys. You know what I mean?
Which guy? Name that last guy. Sorry, I was kind of.
Michael Pittman. Michael
Yeah.
Pittman for the Colts.
So as you were chatting through, one of the first things you mentioned there was like Sutton and then the Denver offense and Bo Nix
Yes.
you mentioned. I wanted to kind of chat through because I had some thoughts where it's Sean Payton. They're a very good defense. They're really
Yes.
good. Potentially the number one fantasy drafted defense. They've got Defensive Player of the Year Patrick Surtain at corner, which is a crazy thing when you have a corner winning Defensive Player of the Year, which is really cool. And because Sean Payton's there, I am looking at their offense as
Yeah, I'm
Sutton
trying to pull it
being
up
their
right now.
Michael Thomas.
Right. Okay.
And now they also do get Ingram. Evan Ingram is their tight end now.
Yeah.
So you do have competition for big body red zone threats.
Yeah.
I also look at Harvey. I know you mentioned last time
RJ.
you don't know much
Yep.
about him. I feel like he could be the Kamara, the Darren Sproles, the Reggie Bush, the pass catching Saints, Sean Payton kind of player, especially PPR that gets a lot of balls. And they have J.K. Dobbins. So J.K. Dobbins could be their Mark Ingram, I guess, like they're between the tackles.
Kind of veteran
kind of
guy.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but RJ Harvey, I think the fact that he drafted him and they like him could be interesting.
I didn't realize they
And
have
then
Mike McGlinchey. They have the right tackle, Mike McGlinchey. He is very good. He's a very good lineman. Garrett Bowles is not. So they have good tackles. When I'm thinking about offense and the passing attack that we're walking through together right now, I wanted to make sure they have their offensive line isn't just going to get obliterated. And Mike McGlinchey and Bowles is a solid pair of tackles.
And
That's pretty good.
I don't know if you're realizing you know this, but again, this is my Madden scouting as well. Quinn Mirnez is one of the best guards in the game. He's like a 95 in Madden.
Is he really?
Superstar.
Really?
Let's look at I'd love to see if he made like a
Like a PFF focus? Like a grading of PFF?
Yeah, let's see. So I'll come back to Denver depth chart. Let's do PFF interior lineman grades or something. 2024, something like that. I don't know. So highest graded interior defenders. Whoops, that's defenders. NFL position interior defender. I wonder if we can go into this and then see if we can search for interior lineman. Anyway, he's very good and interior offensive lineman. Okay, so this is for the draft. This is the draft. He's going to offensive lineman from 23. Come on, guys. NFL. Let's do Power rankings. Maybe they have like tools or something. That's just power ranking. That's not like that's team. That's not positions. Player grades. Maybe that. Quarterback. Let's do like guards.
Guard.
Bang. Number
Quinn.
2.
In the
So
league? Is that the whole league?
this is the whole league.
Wow.
32 teams. So he's
Zeidler's still up there? Wow. He's old.
yeah. He's in Tennessee. I mean, Lindstrom. I mean, this is another reason you've got Lindstrom, which is why people are so big on Bijan, is they have a good offensive line. And you had Arthur Smith, who's really good at developing offensive linemen. But Quinn,
Right.
yeah. Anyway, their offensive line is very good. Another reason I think J.K., R.J. Harvey, plus they have such a good defense, they're going to be running. I think. You know what I
Now, do you
mean?
believe in Bo Nix? Do you believe in him?
I think Bo is he'll be fine. I think everyone's going to expect he's going to be way better. I think he'll be about the same because I think he overachieved this past year, and now I think
Mm-hmm.
people are going to react to that. And I think he's probably like even like fairly priced or like maybe slightly overpriced. I do think the offense is going to be really good because the defense is good. I think they'll be running. I think he'll be a good quarterback. I don't know if he'll be a good fantasy player.
Mm.
You know what I
Really?
mean?
Okay.
Just
Yeah, I thought
because,
like you think
yeah,
I see what you're saying. Run like good, run the ball, good defense, that kind of thing.
I think it's because of their defense. Because the defense is so good, I don't know if that lends to like a ton. It's not. It's like the opposite of Joe Burrow last year in the Bengals. You know what I mean? It's like their defense is so good, they're just gonna want to sit on leads and win games, and
Sure.
so they might not be pushing the ball and accumulating stats. So I think he'll be good. That's why I say he's fairly priced. I still think he'll be scoring. I think Sutton's going to be good. I also think Marvin Mims is kind of their like Shaheed, like deep threat
Oh,
speedster.
okay. Yeah.
And so I see a lot of the like player types that Sean Payton likes, the big roles. So anyway, I think that really good offensive line. J.K. Dobbins, I feel like the other thing with going after Harvey is J.K. Dobbins can never stay healthy. You know what I mean?
I know. Right. Right.
So
Right.
Harvey could be a really good pick
I feel
if
like
like
J.K. Dobbins is like the week 1 through 4 starter,
mhm,
and then like right around midseason, or it's just all R.J. Harvey. He's in the league a little bit longer. Usually, the first 4 weeks is now like preseason these days because preseason is like really for the end of the roster guys. So,
yeah.
like this past year for the Eagles, it was like weeks 1 through 4 was basically preseason light. It was like regular season games, but then they had a bye week. So after that, they kind of turned it on.
Yeah, I mean,
So maybe,
I would love
yeah.
Harvey as like because he's going around Pacheco. Like Pacheco's another one. I think you like him too.
I think bounce back year because he had a down year, so he's like
Yeah.
cheaper than I think he should be right now.
Mm-hmm. Same with Aaron Jones. I feel like Aaron Jones. I think he's
Always
injury
pretty solid.
prone.
Yeah.
Like all these guys are interesting. Like Tony Pollard again. Like Tajay
The Aaron
Spears.
Jones, yeah, the Aaron Jones though is Jordan Mason. You can get a handcuff later if you're
Right.
worried about Aaron Jones. Get the insurance policy of Mason, Jordan
Mm-hmm.
Mason, and I think that's a solid, you know, guy on your bench and handcuff there.
Yeah. And so I mean, Harvey is just like around this spot. Like he could be really good. Like that offensive line's really good. He has Sean Payton, who could be. And like I think Bo Nix is like one of the highest check down rates because it's like Drew Brees, like check down,
Yeah.
check down, check down. Like he's being coached in that way. So Harvey could be really good. And if Dobbins doesn't hold up, he could then eat up some of the between the tackle stuff.
Right.
So he's interesting. I think he'd be like a really solid option and could be. Pollard's another one. Like we saw Zeitler on that Pro Football Focus list. I think they had him
Yeah, and we mentioned
underrated.
Tajee Spears got injured, so now he might be more of a bell cow than originally anticipated.
Yep, and it's his second year with the team now, so he's a little bit more integrated. They have way better quarterback play just by addition by subtraction with Will Levis.
Hmm.
Um, and if you really believe in Cam Ward, they could be a much better offense. Not instead of the bottom five, they could be, at least lower middle, and that could really help Pollard, especially with the Tajay injury. But anyway, all right, brother.
We had one last thing on the docket. We kind of teased it
Of course.
earlier. You got to explain it because I myself don't know what you mean by it. So there's the last thing.
So I was kind of writing some notes here, and I don't know if you saw much of social media this week, but Taylor Swift went on the Kelsey's podcast, and what is it, New Heights?
Mm-hmm.
And announcing her new album. So big thing. And Jason did this huge big announcement and brought her on. But I was just thinking, who is your Taylor Swift, Alec? Who is the person that you end up dating and we announce on this podcast? You know what I mean? Who is the person who's
does it have to be music? Like, does it have to be like a musician?
No, it could be, it could be anything. I just was getting the juices flowing of who's your celebrity hookup that we kind of
pretty clear. As soon as she's about to make one of her newest movies, we have my girlfriend, my dearly beloved Sydney Sweeney on.
Sure.
And we just march out. Yeah, for the personality. She's radiant. Personality. Seems quite intelligent, quite frankly, from some of the interviews I've seen.
Yeah. Sure.
And I don't want to beat around any bush. Pretty. She's very pretty.
Okay. Yeah. You're going on a limb, sure, but good for you.
I think so. I think
putting yourself out there.
For me, once we really had, I'd say, a couple ravishing weekends together, then I'd be ready to put her on the pod. I don't know right away. It'd be too new. It'd be too new.
Yeah. Now, Alex, Travis ended up going after it on the podcast. They chatted and he talked about going to her concert and he made friendship bracelets, which ended up going viral. She saw it and that's how they started dating. So this is, you gotta let me know, does Sydney,
a movie premiere? We go to like a movie? You mean like we go to like a movie premiere?
Maybe. Does she have, what is her, Travis, he knew he had like the whole friendship bracelet thing. What is Sydney's thing? Does she have like a groupie kind of,
following?
Or maybe is there a performance that you could reference and we could kind of use that to kind of get your date, you know what I mean? And,
sure. Well, there's that one movie, that was that rom-com. The name of the guy escapes me. He's a blonde-haired guy that's in a lot of movies right now. He was in Top Gun Maverick. That's one of them. Then he just hit a real run of movies the last couple years here. Probably made himself Twister. A nice little piggy bank. I didn't see Twister. I don't know. But they were in a movie together. I watched this rom-com. It's like they're it's contemporary friends with benefits where it's like we don't like each other, but then they fall in love with each other kind of thing. We're pretending to be in a relationship, but we're not in a relationship, but then we become in a relationship kind of movie. It wasn't a very good movie.
So she was in Euphoria is probably her big thing.
That was her big thing. And then she was also in what's that really popular show about murders in vacation spaces?
White Lotus.
White Lotus she was in, briefly. One of the seasons, I mean.
She was in, looks like Pretty Little Liars, some cameos, some earlier stuff.
Does it say the movie?
Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yeah.
A recurring role there. Okay. Now, I don't watch Euphoria, but is there any references we could
I also don't watch Euphoria as well.
You're seeming like less of a fan than I.
So you put me on the spot.
Hold it. Hold the phone.
Oh, did you find the movie?
He started dating businessman Nathan Divino in 2018, and they became engaged in 2022.
Are they still together?
The couple separated 25.
See? I'm back in the game, baby.
Okay, she is an automobile enthusiast. She has restored a 1969 Ford Bronco and a 65 Mustang. She owns a 56 Ford F100 gifted by her grandfather. In partnership with Ford, he designed a custom 2024 Mustang.
Is she into fantasy football?
Yeah, probably. Probably, I would say.
I think I'm in luck. The cars, I'll be honest, I just think I'd embarrass myself. I'd say, Sydney, show me what's going on in this Bronco. What's happening here?
Right.
Is that a gasket?
Now,
What is that?
She is 27. Is the age difference?
It's close enough where, I'm 31, so 4 years, not terrible. I'm in the prime of my life. She's in the prime of her life,
Right.
So
we'll have to figure it out. We'll have to figure out whether you got to get into cars or she's got to get into fantasy football. One of the two.
Well,
but I like this segment. We'll have to ask Mark if he likes it too.
Mark, let us know if I should pick maybe I should think about it more. Maybe I should, instead of gut reaction.
Yeah.
Maybe I really dive into a celebrity. I'll be honest, the whole celebrity crush thing. There's got to be there's got to be some.
Do you have another one? I could give you a.
Mila Kunis. No, Ashton Kutcher.
No,
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you have another one loaded up? Just while we're running down to the end here. We're really running on fumes here at the end.
What are you talking about, Alex? I'm in the prime. I feel like I'm ready.
You're in the pocket. Is this going to be like a Rogan podcast where we go for another 3? We go 6?
No, maybe. Or just cut this up into 3 podcasts. And
we could, or it could be, maybe like a really condensed hour and a half or something.
We'll feature Dar heavily.
Well, yeah, we could cut that part out. We're gonna cut this part out. No, we're live right now, but
we're still live.
Yeah,
but,
I'll tell you later.
Anyway, we could do. Let's see. Hold on. I think we end it and we head on out and we say our goodbyes. Thanks for hanging with Going Yard. All right, that's it. See you next time.
Hey guys.